Welcome to this epic live. Yo, we have Rodney Jones. Y'all may have known him as or know him as Little Rod. He was a child prodigy. He is a gifted musician that came up through the church. He has produced hits for so many big name people, big name acts. One of the biggest names he had the displeasure of working with was Diddy. We have Little Rod live on this channel in his own words, in his own truth, to break it down for us. Title tells y'all told me to get my ear to the street. Y'all don't want any more 20-year-old tea. You want something new, piping hot. So you know your girl went out there and got it. You guys, we will be taking questions from the audience. I'm going to lock this stream down to subscribers only. If we get trolls in here, we're going to have to lock it down to members only. I mean, if the trolls want to pay to talk trash, we're going to let them. I also want to know that you guys, we have a very, very special guest that will be joining us. And I know what you're saying. What could be more special than Little Rod? Okay, listen, they are equal, but I will say this, they are going to corroborate everything that Little Rod is saying and let you in on a little behind the scenes. Has been a lot said. There's been a lot of accusations. We do have to say before we start this live, if you are going to watch this on playback, we'll break this down into part 1, 2. It will be consumed into smaller videos. And on top of that, we will put timestamps in. Okay. So those of y'all that don't got the attention span, we're going to work out for you. Now, before we get into this, we do have to make a disclaimer. Okay. And this is a very important disclaimer. I want everybody to actually pay attention. All right. Little Rod is going to be giving us his recollection. Okay. We must point out that everything in life, until it's proven in a court of law, actually, everything is somebody's opinion. He is going to be telling us his thoughts. He's going to be telling us what he remembers. He's also going to be telling us how he felt. Okay. Now, he is taking his accusations to a court of law so that the United States government can decide who is right and who is wrong. It is important to note that Sean Diddy Combs has 100% said that he is innocent of all charges, not just Little Rod, but the multiple women that are suing him right now. Much like he said in his lawsuit with Cassie Ventura, it is all lies. He will be vindicated. He will defend the Combs name, and he will make everybody pay for spreading this misinformation. Y'all remember when he said that about Cassie? I mean, unfortunately, after that, a lot of things that Cassie said were proven to be true with a video compilation. But keep in mind that Sean Diddy Combs has maintained his innocence. Nothing has been proven in a court of law. And Little Rod is bringing us his memory, his recollection, his feeling, and his viewpoint of what went down and how it went down. Now that we got that out the way, let's get to what the streets are saying, but let's get to what Little Rod is also saying. And we will bring out the special guests in a little time. But when we make these connections with the special guests, I'm telling you, you're going to be happy you stayed till the end of the live. All right, y'all, let's get into this. With no further ado, let's bring Rodney Jones up here, okay? Let's give him a big welcome for actually being so courageous to come and share his story. Last thing, I know I keep pulling that carrot back. There are a lot of people that ask, how can Little Rod comment on what happened when there is an ongoing case? To which I will say, I don't know. Go look at Dateline. Go look at 2020. Go read the Rolling Stones with Nancy Dillon and Cheyenne Roundtree doing their thing. It is very common in the American legal system that people that are going against very powerful people come out and use media of all sorts, print, cable, TV, news, and now because we're in 2024, YouTube, to actually come out and tell their side of the story. So how's it possible? I don't know. Go watch Dateline, go write CNN, go write 2020, because it's all happened on there. And now it's happening on YouTube. All right, let's get into it. What does Sabrina say? Bring them out, bring them out. Okay, this is a serious interview. Y'all ready? Don't embarrass me when we got company over. All right, Tattletales, let's get into it. Where are we, Rod? Do you like to be called Little Rod or Rodney? How are you doing? And thank you for joining us.
Hey, Tisa, I'm doing okay. How are you? You could just call me Rod. That's good enough for me.
Okay, you like my mama call me Little Rod. You call me Mister. Okay, Rod.
You know what's crazy is I never really called myself that. Like just growing up, they just named me that. You know what I'm saying? Just being the 5-year-old in church playing drums, whatever. Just like this, it was just a little guy. So they just called me that. It was little, and then they just, as time go by, they just start going LIL. So I just go by what the people call me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That is so true. It is a common Black American experience, baby. They gonna call you everything but your name if you really tight with someone. Everything but your name. So thank you for coming. So listen, Little Rod, here, and this is to the audience. I want to jump right into the meat of things. Then we'll take a step back. Then we'll fast forward. We have so much to cover, and we have you for a limited time. So let's jump in, and then we can take a snapshot back. Okay. I do want to focus on how you got into music, but we'll get into that later. Let's take it straight to where this all started. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Your lawsuit claims that you, of course, are a producer and that you were somehow found yourself in a role of following Diddy around and recording him. And it wasn't just you. Diddy and we've heard from multiple places that Diddy actually liked to chronicle every part of his life. Can you tell us how you fell into the role of always being around Diddy and being able to document what was going on in a working capacity?
Yeah, I mean, I just became a lot relevant to his production, just being able to pretty much do almost everything, you know what I mean, in the production, whether it's playing an instrument, being able to train engineers, producing, songwriting, you know what I'm saying, singing, and just overall just being a person who know how to handles administrating situations or whatever it is. It's like, you know what I mean? Somebody can set out a task and I won't stop until it's done. You know what I mean? And just having those abilities and more just made me one of the guys just like really important to an asset to the team.
Did you just randomly whip it out? Did he ask you to film? Did people around him ask to film? Like, how
Oh
does
no,
that
yeah,
happen?
yeah,
Because
he did.
someone's around me
He
with the
did.
phone.
Yeah, so just being in the studio and sometimes he might get to talking and and he looked up one time like, yo, what I just said could have been a part of the album. You know what I'm saying? Like pull out that phone, you around me, make sure them cameras is rolling, make sure the audio, make sure y'all taking notes. I don't like to repeat myself, you know. And he just, elaborated more and more about that. So it's like I made it easier for him. I caught everything for him. And sometimes, he would just get my phone and start recording in situations. If my phone's just laying there and I'm over there doing something else, whatever.
So
Um,
he would grab your phone if you weren't around and start recording himself to actually catch everything.
yeah.
Mm. did he ever tell you what he wanted? And I know you mentioned he's like, get this, I don't want to forget. Did he ever actually hint that he wanted this for, like, some people are like, I know Beyonce, she has like her little, well, it's rumored that she has her footage of archives because she's Beyonce. And one day, it's all going to go into the historical record. Did he ever hint what he was using it for outside of things for work?
Nah, not that I can recall. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot happening fast over there.
Mm-hmm.
Just all I know is record. Like,
Okay.
don't be that. I've seen him, like almost slap one of the camera guys. You know what I'm saying? In fact, one I know that, but my physical eyes, I seen him like almost smack him for not having that camera on, and I'm not the one to be smacked, so I'm gonna make sure I do my work correctly. So you know what I'm saying? So I don't fall in that category. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so, um, I know how to do whatever I'm asked to do very, very well.
Mm. Well, it
Yeah.
seems like you did it really well. I want to just touch on something that you said. You said that you witnessed, or like a past recollection, in your opinion, it looked like somebody was close to getting hands laid on them. What was that situation like? Like, where were
Yeah.
y'all at?
In my opinion, I mean, we were at a studio, but in my opinion, this guy was getting ready to get smacked. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when somebody goes and waves their hand in front of you, and then all of a sudden just pull back like I ain't gonna do it today, in my opinion, that's about to get smacked. So yeah,
How many people were around when this was happening? Was it like a full crew, or was it something very private? Like
yeah,
he.
it was like
Mhm.
you know, maybe three more other producers in the studio, a couple assistants, and engineer, and maybe an artist or two.
Did anyone seem surprised, or were they just all? Because if that happened in front of me, y'all already know I'm scary. I would have had my head down, like I'm just mixing sound. Did people act like they were surprised, or did everybody just have their eyes down, hoping that it would just blow over?
I couldn't really read into anybody's else expressions. This is early on for me, so it's like
Mhm.
I'm probably in like disbelief that that was happening, or what I'm saying, or he has that side of him. It's just so much is like going on. I can't even focus on what somebody else is thinking. It's like, yo,
All
all
right.
right, let's get back, make sure I don't hit this note wrong. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's like, yo, you got no time to figure it out what's going, get into what you got going on.
Hmm.
And that's always been the case for me. I see stuff, and sometimes I may, you know, act as if I don't see it, but I'll see it and then just like, yo, it just motivate me to, stay on what you got going on and get it done correctly. That way you don't be in that hot seat like others. You know what I'm saying?
No, definitely. And I know that you come from a very Christian household. You are a man of God. So I can see when that's something that you're taught very young, right? We all were. If you're in the church, you stay on your path. You don't look left or right. You don't get distracted. And like God will order your steps. Just stay on your
Yeah.
path. I can definitely see that. You said that it happened early on. Why don't you tell us in your own words long? Because I find it interesting. How long were you actually around Diddy or working with Diddy from start until you cut ties? And we'll talk about that. But from start to finish, how many months or even years do you think you were around Diddy?
Um, Definitely in 2022 for sure.
Mhm.
And we cut ties to at the end of 2023.
See, I find this most interesting because here's the thing. If you go to Lipstick Alley, if you go to the blog, shout out to Diary of Hollywood Street King and that grape juice or that grape drink, they're like archive blogs now. But they have stories in Diddy going back to 2008. What really fascinated us about your case, aside from you being courageous, just like Cassie and everybody else that's taking a stand, is the fact that your cases, you and Cassie's case, are the most current record of the stuff that he's doing. So a lot of people like to say, oh, well, it happened years and years ago. But basically between what Cassie has to say, and I think she cut off around 2015, 2016, and combined with what you have to say in 2023, you are, in my opinion, the clearest record of whether he grew, whether he changed, whether he evolved, whether he might have been involved in stuff back in the day, and whether he turned over a new leaf. You know what I'm saying? So I find that like the most interesting. And that's why I'm watching your case so closely, because at the end of the day, he's fighting with that. So let me get back into the studio. So it was early on when it seemed like there was about to be some fisticuffs in the studio. How early on into that would you say it was?
It was around like, I don't know, September of 2022, somewhere around there.
So like a couple of months, would you say?
You know what? To be exact, that happened at Challenge.
Go on.
It happened. It was at Challenge, so it's like it was somewhere around the third or fourth week.
Oh
Of
wow,
September.
that's really
Yeah.
early.
Yeah.
So it was. So this goes into my question. So you're following him around. He's demanding everybody take me, do this and that. Sometimes you remember or recall him grabbing the phone to be like, "Yo, let me record myself." So it's not like you were sitting there in the corner like, "Huh? What?" It's not like you were sitting in the corner trying to, do the little
Yeah.
okie doke. This was part of your job, and you said, "I'm gonna do this job," because Diddy was very well respected, and you were going to get your
And
chance.
you gotta also understand that he's only saying that to people, for example, like who he may deem to be trustworthy, or you know what I'm saying. Other people can't even have their phones. There was times we were in the studio. He'd tell everybody, put your phones down, and whatever. But I'll still be going because he knows like he's taking notes or he's recording or whatever. I'm just basically trying to capture whatever's necessary so that we don't miss. Not to keep a dialogue of what's going on, like not even thinking of that. You know what I'm saying? Just like,
Mhm.
all right, here's the notes. Today we're working on this, and sometimes he may say some things, and somebody like him would find it very, very disrespectful. For example, if he said a sentence or a paragraph and then you ask him to repeat himself. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't take that nice. So it's like, yo, hurry up and catch this as fast as you can. And it's like working with him is like, bam, he's throwing a bunch of cannons. Your job is to catch it before it falls and just, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
at some point, he may have deemed me to be a trustworthy person close, that's actually working. And when I'm in the studio, I'm not
Mhm.
really engaging in a bunch of BS. You know what I mean? Most of the time, people are trying to come on, you could take one more shot, like you know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
so they know that it's like, yo, it could be all types of liquor, alcohol, drugs, women, and all types of activities, even before even before him, just happening in the studio, and I'll be just very, very focused on what we got to get done. And
Yeah.
so one thing.
Oh, hold on. We seem to have lost. Hold on. Let's add him. Okay. Hello. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
So go on.
So
You said.
I was just saying one thing is he has an eye. He can see like, okay, that person look a little fishy, or even this person looks a little green. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
He can decipher those differences. So yeah, so at that rate, for somebody like myself to be capturing certain things, or what I mean, recording certain things, the trust was there.
Yeah, it sounds like he trusted, like you said. And have heard this about Diddy before. And I mean, it's no surprise because he is a mogul. But I have heard that most people that are astute businessmen are very, very good at reading people. And I think it speaks to your testament that you came in with very, very good intentions. I'm going to do my job. I'm going to do it well. And I'm going to, blow his mind away. And he's going to be so impressed. And this is going to be the end. I know we had Tiffany Wright on this channel, an exclusive Tisa Tell Live. Go ahead and check it out. Also, Tiffany Wright has her own YouTube channel. Check that out. Where she said that working with Diddy, especially on the Love album, everybody thought it was going to be his big comeback. You need somebody big to get you into those doors. No matter how talented you are, how many connections you are, you need someone big to get you into those doors. So did you view Diddy as like, this is my chance to really get into those rooms?
Yeah. So at this point, I've been in some rooms. It was just now we're just trying to crack, to the super producer seat, or just, you know what I mean, building up my executive this or this. I got some artists who are signed to me from Chicago, trying to get their albums in the door. It's like, okay, the best way to do it is to go over here, finish this album, and do a great job, and then this will open up doors for those things I just mentioned, along with others. You know what I'm saying? So, prior to Diddy, yes, most major producers know who I am. Most musicians, etc., a lot of artists, but we were just trying to cross over to a bigger audience, which working on this album should have and would have brought. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
Definitely.
that was the goal.
That was the goal. Before you actually linked up with Diddy, why don't you tell us a little bit about how, and again, how did he even find you? Did you seek him out? Or you like, I mean, I'm not a producer, so I don't know how it goes, but
No,
how did he find you?
well, like I said, a lot of producers and musicians and artists, they know about me. It's not that many you know, good producers who's roaming around LA that play multiple instruments. A lot of them are just sampling different things and putting stuff together. So, one of my partners at the time, just told me like, "Yo, we got." He's friends with the head A&R of Love Records. Like, yo, we got a studio um, session for Puff coming up. Here's the dates. They're gonna give us our own room, etc. We feel like a glove because while he can play the keyboard a little bit, he's not as fluent, and he doesn't play bass, or he doesn't play drums or guitar,
Your
etc.
friend or Diddy?
My friend.
Oh, okay. Go on.
Yeah. So to have me with him, together, we should be able to accomplish a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how I came into the picture. Even
Mhm.
though I've you know did some work in 2021 before, that wasn't really, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Worth really mentioning. Or 2016, I was present for the Bad Boys tour, doing rehearsals and stuff like that. But more of 2022 is what made me, you know what I'm saying, like
Yeah.
really exist. So at that rate, the writing camp was full of just a bunch of star power, whether it's artists or super producers, etc. Again, it's not too many producers I've seen in and outside of those rooms that are playing as many instruments and that can work in as many DAWs as I do: FL
Mhm.
Studio, Logic,
Mhm.
Pro Tools, and even Ableton. I work them all. I understand them
Mhm.
all. You know what I'm saying? I also grew up recording to tape. That was before we had all these crazy things. So I understand the music on different levels. I understand how we're doing it now, how we was doing it 20 and 30 years ago. So it just, that came with a lot of experience that was necessary, in being a part of this. And on top of that, just having leadership skills. You know what I'm saying? I've been a music director for years, etc., like that. So he really likes to have people who are leaders and know how to get things done. That's what made me more necessary to the team.
Okay, so this is all clicking together. So again, Diddy is, in my opinion, from what I've heard from people, he is very talented at extraction capitalism, identifying people that are super talented, above the cut, and then he tries to extract as much as he can from them while giving the least turnout. Because I know you came up in the church and you were basically a child musical prodigy. I do want to know, coming from like a church background, but you were so talented that even contemporary artists started pulling you in. Had you heard about any of those Lipstick Alley blog posts or anything about Diddy? Or did you just know that Diddy is like this super producer, musical ear, like a Renaissance man?
Well, I'll tell you, for as long as he's been doing it, he's been a great marketer. Even now, he's still a great marketer. So for someone who has come from the Christian world, you have to be that much good or great in order to even reach over there so they can see. I just remember like one time going to church. It was in the 90s, late 90s or somewhere around there. I was young. And what's this song? Every step I take,
Oh
whatever.
yeah, the Missing You,
I'm missing
your
you. Yeah.
faith. Yeah.
I remember on a Sunday morning sitting in the back seat, just going to church. That song was on the radio. You know what I'm saying? Or watching movies. What's all about your Benjamins? What y'all want to do? Want to be bought? You know what I'm saying? That comes on. It's like, yo, because he's crossed over, you cannot even be a person who like to go to the clubs or whatever it is, and you know who he is. So I knew who he was. I just wasn't aware of, um, all the dark side that we've seen. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so, however, I did hear about the East Coast, West Coast beef, but that was as far as Tupac and Biggie. Other than that, I'm learning more as I work in the music industry. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
um, and then he has a way of just doing certain stuff, and you can feel like he's not a bad guy, but then tomorrow, and this is in my opinion, tomorrow he can wake up and do some things like, yo, this guy you don't want to play with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and that's in my opinion. You know what I mean? I don't really want to lean too much on that, but yeah. So we all know he sells records. There's still some countries that are playing his records now, even though you know what I'm saying. He's in a legal situation. There's still people playing.
Hold on, y'all. There's storms going on. Rodney Jones is in an undisclosed location, but go on.
Sorry about that.
Mm.
Going in and out.
It's
Yeah.
fine. We know you're in an undisclosed location. We'll take you how we can get you, but go on.
All right. Well, that's pretty much all I have to say towards that answer. Yeah.
Okay, so definitely. So we're in the studio, and you guys, like, listen, just to let the chat know, welcome to everybody. If you guys can hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We're having a surprise guest further into this live. For those of you guys that are wondering, it is possible to have interviews while you have an open case. Hence how CNN, Dateline, 2020, the Rolling Stones, and everybody else has done this. I don't have time to explain. Go watch CSI and figure it out, okay? So right now, and if you guys are watching us on playback and you have to go, we will be chopping this interview up into digestible segments, and we'll be putting timestamps in it, okay? So let's get into this, right? Because we're there, we have your background, you are trustworthy, you are reliable, you're ready to go the extra mile. You see a little inkling where you said 3 or 4 weeks into it, he looked like he was about to, in your opinion, some fisticuffs was about to break out. You're following him around, recording everything at his request. What do you recall was the first time that you started to be like, something ain't right? this ain't no regular
Yeah.
superstar. You a little eccentric. Like, I don't know what's going on. What do you recall around what time? Like, not even what time, but what that felt like or what you experienced?
Yeah. I'm gonna leave that alone because, I can't really get into that um, for my case purposes. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's definitely in the complaint. It's definitely in the complaint. But
Okay.
yeah, that's a juicy question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, if you want to talk about the complaint, let's go back to the studio then, right? Because there's a
Mhm.
few things that we need to add color onto the complaint. You
Mhm.
were working on the Cassie album. And in our live we did with Tiffany Red, she pointed out how weird it was that for the people that kind of knew the Diddy and Cassie situation, the Love album seemed to be an exercise in almost being intrusive into Cassie's life, writing a love letter to Cassie, doing this and that. We know that he even wrote love letters, well, songs that were dedicated in love to Kim Porter. What was the feeling in the studio? Did he seem like he was a man obsessed with Cassie, or a man obsessed with letting the world knows he had undying love for Kim Porter?
In my opinion, it was nothing but control. Another way to manipulate her.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I feel everything. You know what I mean? I can feel true emotions. I can feel when someone is mourning over someone and not. I
Mm-hmm.
definitely did not feel, in my opinion, I did not feel the mourn over Kim Porter. I didn't feel that. More so, um, it was maybe a little guilt, and you know what I'm saying. That's just my opinion, and I'm not at liberty to elaborate more on that. But
Okay.
definitely, my opinion with Cassie, the song is called "Homecoming."
Mm-hmm.
The way he broke this down every time, and was trying to explain his feelings, um, it changed every time. So imagine we're working on this song. Let's just say we put in 30 days worth of work on this song, hour
Mm-hmm.
for hour, right?
Mm-hmm.
His story changed 30 times.
What do
You know
you
what I'm
mean?
saying?
Give us an example of what that would look like. Now, we don't got to
Um,
hypotheticals. We're talking about an
hy-
imaginary person.
just
What? You know.
hypothetically, hypothetically, I like this this object for this reason, but then tomorrow I like this object is for a whole nother reason, and the next day is different. And you're trying to combine the two. Is like what you can't like this object for this reason. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
I might be giving a bad analogy, but basically, for example, like I might say I like I married my girlfriend, my wife, because um she gave me her last piece of cake, and then 10 years from now I say I married my wife because um she took care of me when I was down and out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like it just keeps changing and changing and changing and changes. Like, and none of the reasons felt like I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? None of the reasons felt like a man who just want his woman back, and I'm trying to sing this song. But more so, that's my property.
Mm-hmm.
It belongs to me. Like you should be here. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
so, let me go ahead and make an album and have somebody to write some words. It's a little different when a person is writing. For example, like yo, I got music that I've been working on, and
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been able to call anybody. And I just looked at the signs, like, you know what the truth is? I may not need nobody to write this. I might need to tell my story from my heart.
Mm-hmm.
None of his verses or anything lyrically came from his heart, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
so, in my opinion, I just feel like it was nothing but manipulation. You know what I'm saying? Trying to
Mm-hmm.
manipulate, getting her back into to this world. And based off the video we seen, that's not a, in my opinion, that's not the best world you want to be in.
Mm. I definitely get that. I will be the first to say, I remember when he did the "I'm Missing You" song for Kim Porter. And I do remember that I was just rolling my eyes because I said, if you love this woman so much, you would have married her, got engaged to her, did something, because she was slavishly devoted to him. So definitely that's interesting you say that it felt like all the love songs, in your opinion, that he was doing, he was coming back trying to see what would hit, and it wasn't organic. It looked like he was just looking for an in and out, or to just try to get her back because she was property. What about his kids? Like, I know that Christian, from what I hear, was in the studio. Tell me if I'm wrong or not. Because what about, where did you see Diddy in relation to like his family and whatnot? And what about that carefully crafted image of him as a father? Was he a loving, doting father, or was it just? What was your opinion of that?
I'd rather leave at least the minors out of this. You know what I'm saying? That's a very, very touchy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And for even for the sake of them, like my friendship with them was pure, and I don't want to really get into that. Um, you know what I'm saying? I really want to get into that. It's
Okay.
touchy. You know what
I
I'm saying?
Yeah, I
It's,
can definitely respect that.
yeah.
Um, you mentioned about one thing I want to talk to you about is the way things have the aftermath after this lawsuit. But before we go on that, because I just want everybody to see that clear divide, right? Diddy, to some, has a persona of what some people might describe as monster-like things after we saw that video with Cassie, versus his nice guy public persona. Like you said, out of respect for the children, you'll leave that alone, right? But do you feel like, even though that Diddy seemed to put his trust in you early on, do you think that Diddy, when you were just observing him, did he always show who he was? Meaning, could he go to from 0 to 100 at the drop of a hat? It don't matter whether you were like the coat check girl or whether you were a sound engineer, or did he wait until people got closer to him and kind of hide the way he was? You feel what I'm saying? What was your
Yeah.
impression?
In my opinion, I'm gonna just be honest. In my opinion, he's somewhere right now going from 0 to 100.
Mm,
Yeah. This is Here's the thing. He builds so many like chains around him or levels around him that it's even hard to get in front of him to see that side.
mm-hmm,
So, for example, here's a reason why a lot of guests who are not a part of the production can't be in a room with him when he's there. It's like I can have the studio scheduled in in a different room that has nothing to do with us
mm,
today with some artist in here, and we could be working, but if he decides that he needs to work, we got to clear this out because he's got to be himself at all times, and he's
mm,
very, very cautious about what he does around people, especially when they're not on his team and not on NDAs, etc. So um,
mm,
it's extremely hard to catch this side of him unless you're on his team.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
uh, his family member, or somebody he's really dating, or his friends, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Other than
Mm,
that, when he come outside, put that suit on, and he's in front of the cameras, it's more than not likely that you're going to see that side. And
mm,
if it's a situation that he felt like he might want to step out and show somebody what it is. Oh, listen, when we all get back as a meeting, it's we all about to catch it. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody
Oh,
should have
wow.
intercepted that, or this is supposed to be perfect, or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give you one thing. There was times we were staying at his house. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
flew me out from home to Miami, and we're there. And let's just say he go do a walkthrough at one of the major clubs, and something could happen. We don't even know. By the time he takes off before us, and he get back to the house, I can try to go in the gate, and security would tell me like, "Yo," he said, "nobody's coming in the house." And one time I thought it was personal. I'm like, "Yo, I'm living here, such and such." You know what I mean? And then I saw one of his sons come, and they couldn't get in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Wait, one of his sons couldn't even get in
the
when he
kids
like.
couldn't even get in. He locks that house. Ain't nobody getting in there but him, and security's watching the gate. Maybe management can come in to do whatever's necessary he has to get done. He locked that house, it's over. You know what I'm saying? It's on a D&D. And
Even go on. I'm sorry. Keep going.
yeah, so you know what I mean? And it could have been one of the sons, or one of or myself, or somebody else could have just waved, in my opinion, at some girl he was liking, or somebody could have spilled a drink, in my opinion. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? Only he would know.
So let me get this straight, because you said a lot, and I would just want to break this down. Diddy would sometimes go into these things where when he got into his moods, nobody really knew what was happening, but he would get home and lock everyone out. And everyone, whether they were blood related or not, would be standing outside. How
That's
long
it.
would these go on? How long would
Yeah.
it, how long would this last? Like on a regular lockout night? Would
I'm
it be like
sure
10 minutes?
once the daylight come up and everything, things get back to normal. I mean, you might not be able to
Daylight.
come in there. Yeah, once you go to sleep or whatever's going on, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the next day you can resume. But I just remember, you know, a couple of times I had to just go buy me a hotel in the city that he flew me in, stay in his guest house. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
And
wow.
it wasn't just me. So it's, again, I didn't really take it personal anymore at that race. Like, okay, he ain't fooling with nobody today. So y'all just got to figure it out. And I just start, you know, handling things a little different, expecting certain things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Of course. Of course. Let me ask you a question. You made a comment that like it could be anything, like somebody spilling a drink, or one of the girls he likes maybe waving at one of his sons. That he does have
Yeah,
very handsome sons. Go on.
you don't spill no drink on Diddy, and you don't mess with his girls. You know what I'm saying? These are
No,
just a
I
few
don't.
things.
Explain.
He doesn't even like, for example, like food in the studio. He doesn't even like that. So if I order some food, I need to eat it outside and don't get caught eating. You know what I'm
What?
saying? Yeah, it's really that strict. It's like, yo, but he'll come right in the middle of your session, and stoop down, and sit and chill. Let me hear this and this, and then those assistants come rolling in with all types of fruit or whatever, food, steak, whatever, and he gonna eat that right then and there, and it is what it is. But you could be sitting there all day and haven't eaten. You better find a way to do it where he don't know you eating.
Pause, because you're dropping a lot, right? Really quick, you guys, for those of you just joining us, this is Little Rod. He is Diddy's first male accuser. He's making shocking claims, much in the line of Cassie. Little Rod is the only person suing Diddy at the present moment. There might be more. Well, I've heard there are more. That he has the most recent recollection of who Diddy is, how it came to be, and we are getting into the lawsuit. He is also in an undisclosed location. We'll get into that. So again, there's storms going on, cell phone Wi-Fi and whatnot, but we are still grateful. So if you see the screen freezing, just know we are grateful that he is even taking the time to do this. and very, very grateful. So let me get this straight, because again, I have heard through talking to different people that Diddy liked to play a lot of mind games, right? Let me just put this a little lower till let's see, hold on, let's get him back up. Here we go. I have heard that Diddy did like to play psychological games. To me, that sounds very Silence of the Lambs. So, would you guys are in the studio all day? You guys don't really get breaks like that. We all know what studio time looks like. You would have to, not only could you not eat in the studio, okay, fair enough, but you would have to hide even eating anywhere. He didn't want to see anybody eat. But yet when he would come to check on you guys, he would sit down and be like, let me hear it, and be having exotic fruit, steak, lobster, whatever, and be sitting there eating in your face while you guys are showing them what you do. Is that kind of like what was going on?
Absolutely. And not to mention, don't ever get caught taking a nap in the studio. Add that too. You know what I mean?
And
But
it's common
definitely.
to take naps in studios, correct?
I'm sorry?
It's common to take naps in studios because you guys
Yeah,
are basically living there.
basic studio etiquettes would be, go. You can take a nap, but like find it around the couch where you're not taking the energy. He wouldn't
Mm,
want to know that nobody's in that room taking a nap. Watch this. This the part that like this the part that like gets me. It's like, yo, you know, there were days it would tell the chef like don't cook for them. You know what I'm saying? Or we can't drink the Fiji water, right? But the liquor is flowing everywhere. It's all in this. You can't eat, but you could drink. You know what I'm
huh.
saying? You feel me? You can
Mm-hmm.
partake. You can smoke the hookahs. You can smoke weed. You know what I'm saying? But no food. I just never understood that. You know what I'm saying? And food is, for me, a person like me, when I'm fed, I work better. I think better. You know what I'm saying? And so there was too
Mm-hmm.
many times of just being in these sessions where it's a lot going on. It's like I'm just trying to get it together and stay focused because
Mm-hmm.
I've had this much to eat and this much water, or you know what I'm saying, or whatever it
Mm-hmm.
is. It's like,
You want, so
um,
even water, the liquor was flowing, but even food and water was like, yeah, good luck.
yeah,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying.
Listen, when I asked you what was your first inclination, this mofo was crazy. Uh, Tattletales, y'all know me. Dream about ice cream all day. That would have been my first thing where it's like, this mofo is Silence of the Lambs. That would have scared me. I'm greedy. I like to eat. And like you, when I can't eat, I can't focus. And even when
Yeah,
I can focus, I'm still dreaming about food, you
yeah,
know?
but look at it like this. Look at it like you on a road. Let's just say from California to Atlanta, and you're driving this by yourself, and you run into bad weather.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You pretty much got to steal. You halfway there. You know what I mean? It's the same distance to go back and the same distance to go forward. And so you might as well find a way to find the strength to keep moving forward so you can get whatever that is that you sought out to get done
Yeah.
and multiple, you know, that's just been the ride. It's like, look, this album is almost done. This album stayed in almost done for almost a year. You know what I'm
Did it.
saying? We was in that fourth quarter, just like, yo, the first 3 weeks we thought it was done. And it's like every time you thought you went forward, you take 3 steps back, or you know what I'm saying, or just a lot of hiccups. And then there was just times we was just sitting there like a week or two went past and we really ain't did nothing. We just over there in work position. You know what I'm saying? As slaves. And we over there playing loud music and messing around with this, messing around with this, messing around with that. You know what I'm saying? And he's
Hmm.
giving us tasks that ain't even got nothing to do with the album. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how it is over there, fortunately. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Mm. Were the kids not eating? Did you see Young Miami eat? Did you see
Oh,
Daddy eat?
listen, that pan is rolling in front of them faithfully. Yeah, eat. They gonna eat.
Okay.
That's for sure. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get into anything negative about the kids, but for sure, they're eating. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What about Miami? Was she fed? Did she get food?
Oh, she can have whatever she want. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Mm.
told she was getting um a nice 6-figure check a month. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
And so
wow.
yeah, but we don't I don't want to stir nothing else back up. You know what I'm saying? But
Okay,
yeah,
that's respectful. Let me ask you this then. Because Miami did an interview where she said they were very much in love and she could sit in her femininity. And listen, I think Miami's beautiful, very talented. I wish her podcast a lot of luck. I mean, she don't need it. She already doing bigger numbers than me. So I wish her continued success. But let me ask you this. Because when you guys were making the Love album, you were in the studio all the time and Diddy was in the studio all the time. Do you recall seeing Young Miami around a lot?
yeah. We were mainly seeing. I mean, I've seen her in different states and out the country as well,
Mm-hmm.
but I would mainly see her um in Miami.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And she'd be there. I always felt something a little odd or weird about them. It's like they was just trying to force it. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Oh, really?
yeah. In my opinion, I just feel like a lot of that was for the public. You know what I'm saying? He has his ways of marketing.
Mhm.
But even like you mentioned earlier today, the Kim Porter and the Cassie
Cassie.
song. Yeah,
Mhm.
I think he called it an album, but it's a song that he wrote out to her. Well,
Mhm.
he had us to write out to her, and I just remember my first time seeing her when these songs were played, and he just talking about his whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's like for me, it's just all right. Now let that have been any other woman, any other average man. You know what I'm saying? Hearing that him crying over one woman that had moved on and the other one that is deceased. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Um,
Oh, that's an interesting point. So she was around while he was doing this?
yeah, and they planned it, and I'm just watching her. It's like, yo, she had a lot to say in the room, but right now ain't much to say after that. It's just like it was like, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yeah, it was weird, but
So she was when Miami was around, was she very talkative? You said
very,
maybe not why he was penning love letters to Cassie and Kim Porter. The Kim Porter
very.
stuff
I
was
would I would often um I would often play like music chairs with them. So if I'm sitting here and they come close to me, I just automatically move this way. And they come that way, I move this way. I just like move around. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
On any of his women, I just move around. I don't, you know what I mean? And a couple of times they would like speak to me or you know what I mean, certain things, and I just like try to avoid even that because you can just know and I can just feel like the type of person that he is. And it's like, you know, on my, I may not look like nothing now, but on my best day, I think I'm a very attractive man, and
and
I
on your
just
worst, and on your worst.
appreciate it, but I just wouldn't, like to be in that situation where I feel like, or he may have felt like his women may have taken any attraction or liking to me, and so I would just always just play the music chairs, say say bare minimum, and most times I feel like they might have felt like I was mean. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
But the reality is, I'm just making sure that there's respect. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
In these rooms, as I do to most of my clients. Just you know what I mean. I'm not here to make anybody jealous or take anybody's significant other, but to
mhm.
make business and business friendships, etc. So
Yeah.
that was
I
my
mean,
experience.
you were raised right. Like even me, ask if my friends are not standing next to their significant others, I really don't know what they look like. I can walk by them on the street and be like, I've never stared you dead in your face because it's none
Yeah,
of my business. You know, it's none of my business. So Miami was talkative, from what you remember, very talkative in the studio. Maybe not with you, but she was talkative and whatnot. Do you remember Miami being around like Daphne and other people? Like, were there always a bunch of women around, or were they more like?
Yeah, so the first time I seen them together, or at least that I knew that, again, it could have been around. I just didn't know who they were. I knew who Young Miami is, but Daphne and anybody else. But the first time I seen them was on Thanksgiving of 2022. So they were all at his house for Thanksgiving. So he
Mhm,
sat. The table was like a U. So he sat right in the middle. Then he had his mom on one side, and then you had the twins, and then you had his you had Daphne, and then you had right across was Young Miami and Sarah, whatever people that were close to him in whatever capacity were all sitting at that table.
mm. Were they all cool together? Did you get the impression that everybody was good to get along for the go along?
I got the impression that they all knew their role, and
Mm,
and whether they liked it or not, this is their role, and they're going to, for whatever their reasons are, they're not trying to mess up their role, or what I'm saying, cause
mhm,
any conflict. Um, Sarah, I've ran into her. She seemed like a very, very respectable, nice person,
mhm.
as well as Daphne. She's just I saw a mother who was very uh, excited about her firstborn, and
Oh.
just raising her. You know what I'm saying? I saw good in those two people. So, um, and then he had his young thing who's an artist who's hot out in these streets. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
my opinion, that's what's keeping him relevant. So
Miami, I agree with you. You felt like Miami was keeping him relevant, breathing life
again,
into his career.
earlier I said he's an amazing marketer. He always been and still are. So he has his reasons. I don't know everything, but for sure, in my opinion, I just feel like it was a great marketing thing for him to stay current and relevant. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So
I remember that there
he's in
was
his
a bit.
50s. We got to think about that. He's in his 50s. You know what I'm saying?
What that mean?
I'm just saying, if he was, if I'm in his mind and I'm thinking how he's thinking, he can't be in his 50s trying to stay current with the young people and married to somebody who's in his 50s. You know what I'm saying? He gonna change it up a little bit, market it
Mhm.
up, change his name to Love. You know what I'm saying? Get Love
Mhm.
Records, have a kid. You know what I mean? And and get a young girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that
Ah.
you know what I mean
Mhm.
that are in place. I didn't put them in place, but again, this is my opinion. So um,
Got you. We all know this is, you guys, just to let you know, this is his opinions, his observation. Okay.
yeah.
Again, recollections may vary, but we are actually asking Little Rod what his impressions of things were. Really quick, because I'm literally just very, very curious about this. So I remember earlier you said that to you, it seemed like Diddy and Young Miami's relationship was very, very good marketing. Okay. Did you see chemistry? Did you see that freeness? Did you see that easiness that they broadcasted to the world when they were in the studio?
Rephrase that question for me again.
So with Young Miami, right? I remember earlier you said that you thought that their relationship looked very much like a very astute marketing strategy, which isn't to say it wasn't real, but you said that they didn't seem as easy with each other as they appeared in the public. So in the public, you know, they was grooving together, laughing, joking. It was all like you could see this chemistry and it was all smiles. When the cameras weren't on, did they have that freeness, that easiness, that joy
Yeah.
that they
So
exuded?
I've never seen anything toxic, for the record. I'm not
Okay.
saying that it was toxic, but
Not toxic, but go on.
I can also say that there was a moment or two where he may have said something out of his mouth, and whereas any other woman not in her situation probably would have been like, "No, boy, I ain't such. I ain't." You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you'll just see her turn her face and just act as if he didn't say it. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
it was just weird to me, like, you know. But then I'm told, like, yo, you know, somebody said that she was getting, you know, 6 figures. You know what I'm saying? On a monthly basis. It's like, yeah, you would probably be quiet too.
I mean, when people are yelling at people to go clean up on aisle 4, you know, people have been quiet for $20 an hour, let alone 100,000. Do you? I mean,
I think that was a good look for the both of them at the time when they
mhm,
was doing what they was doing. You know what I'm saying? I think that was a good
mhm,
look. I think, you know, it was a lift for her. She was dating a mogul in the music business who status is a billionaire, and he's, you know, in his 50s trying to stay current. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
I think it was a good look for them, both of them. So I think the market strategy that they've come up with was amazing. And for me, my opinion, I don't think that it was real true love, because if it's true love, you know what I mean, what's their status now? You know what I mean? What's
yeah,
going on? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Regardless of what he's hit with, you know, if it's true love, nobody should be able to shut you up, or you know what I'm saying, whatever it is.
mhm,
And so
yeah,
I'm not really, you know, following her around or what or him, etc. So I don't really know everything, but it just seems to me like, you know, their relationship has taken a back seat. I don't know. You know what
mhm,
I'm saying?
yeah,
So, and maybe it's too much for me to speak on. It's, you know, especially because I don't know.
mhm,
But I just didn't feel true love. I didn't feel, you know, somebody's worried about their king, or the king is worried about their queen. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
I didn't feel that. For me, I just feel like, yo, it, they just got a money play going on for marketing, and they're having a good
yeah,
time. You know what I'm saying? That's my
yeah.
opinion. And you know, I rest there, and let me get off this question for you.
Listen, we can back off. Again, this is Little Rod's opinion. He is not presenting this as fact. He's just saying back then what his impressions were. Okay.
Yeah.
Young Miami has said that Diddy was the love of her life. She said that he let her rest in her feminine. Diddy, you know, loved his shorty wop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all good between them. So again, this is just somebody's impression. It's just
Hmm.
someone's impression. Ask you a question, because you know, just to let you guys know, if you're joining, please hit that like button, please subscribe. I am trying to grow. The chat has been restricted to members only. I'll open it up in a little bit to subscribers. We're just trying to get, you know, there's a lot of bots whenever you put Diddy's name in. Let's actually and also Little Rod is joining us from an undisclosed situation and place, which leads me to my next part, the aftermath, right? And we'll go back to like what happened in the house when it's relevant. But let's move to the aftermath of the lawsuit. I do have to ask you one question. How did you stumble into Diddy's security room? Because I heard through the raids that they went in and they took servers. And I gotta be honest with you, Rod, I always believed you. But when Cassie came out with her lawsuit, there were a lot of people that wanted to believe Diddy for whatever reason. I don't know. You know, if you watch my channel, I'm always talking about bootlickers. And I find that the more money people have, the more they lick boots. A poor person will be like, I've been broke. I'll go back to being broke. I'd rather have my dignity at night, right? I'm not licking your boots. But with Diddy, let me just set this up really quick, right? With Diddy, there were a lot of people around him and doing this and doing that. The feds caught wind of something. And with Cassie, people were like, oh, I don't think she's lying. I don't believe he would do that. And then she was vindicated when that video came out that happened exactly the way she said it did. Much like when your lawsuit came out, I believed you 100%. A lot of people did. But the people that wanted to besmirch your name said this is sensational. It can never happen. This is Diddy we're talking about. He good for a party and dancing and being Father of the Year, but he would never. Until the feds raided his home, and then he would never turned into like, oh my God, what is going on? There were reports that there is like underground grottos and this and that. But I do know that it was confirmed that the feds actually raided, took servers, took this, took that, right? Two questions, okay? One, in your lawsuit, you did say that he had like security up the wazoo. You ain't never seen security like that. How did you come to stumble upon what his security setup was?
Yeah. All right. So now you just said a lot, right?
Okay.
Can you believe that all of those things you just said, there are still a lot of people who around here acting and treating this as if he's guilty. I mean, innocent. You know what I'm saying? Treating,
Really?
yeah, all that. A lot of people still think, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying, or still team him after all of those things you just said. You know what I'm saying? The cat situation, what happened, and bam, the video drops, and you know, even the videos that I'm getting ready to comment on. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, can you
Mhm.
believe that there's still people out here who's just like scared for him, and and rooting for him and feeling like he's innocent? It's crazy. But
Mhm.
I stumbled upon this. Remember, I told you he tells the from time to time he tells the chef, don't cook for nobody. You know
Don't
what I'm
what?
saying?
Oh,
By
don't
the
cook.
way, um, I've met all his chefs. Here, let me
Okay.
make sure my Wi-Fi is not going out.
Okay. Take your
Is my
time.
connection okay?
It's still a little frozen. Again, he's
Are
in
you
an
there?
undisclosed location. We're here. Can you hear us? Let me drop
You
you
there?
down really quick.
Are you
Okay.
there? Okay, I just had
We
to
can
check.
hear you. Your screen's just frozen, but that's
Okay,
okay. We're happy that you are here. We understand that you
I
basically
just switched my
are.
Wi-Fi, so it should be okay
Okay.
now. All
Okay.
right, so I've met his chefs, um, and most of them are ready and willing to cook. Right. The crazy
Mhm.
part is, can you still see me and hear me?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
We're good. We're
The
good. We're good.
the
We're
crazy
good. We're good.
part is, it's only one chef that I ran into. I felt like, was a little mean, right? But then here
Mhm.
goes another state. I ran into one. I felt like she was a little mean too, but only to realize, no, they know. Don't even get involved with cooking for them. Versus the other ones, they'll tote the line and cook.
Ah.
You know what I'm saying? Them other ones,
Mhm.
like, I ain't messing up my job.
Mhm.
Now, based on that, I have to eat. And so I got into a system where I would start Uber eating ordering from Uber Eats my food, whether it's myself, my assistant at the time, or my manager. Like, yo, keep that food running to me at least 3-4 times a day. I'm in here
Okay.
working. I do not want to worry about food, because by the time I realize I haven't eaten, it's too late. I'm on the fork. Like, people don't even understand. Like, there's been times I was in the bathroom, late, grasping for air, just like about to faint. You know what I'm saying? Because when
Mhm.
I don't eat, I just have all these type of problems, right? So I'm ordering these foods, and they're coming and they're coming. What happens is the security start getting tired of bringing me the bags
Yeah.
of food, and so
Ah.
they start calling me to come to the office. After a while, they just start relaxing. It's like, your food is in the office. Go grab it. right?
Mm-hmm.
Rightfully, that's not a bad thing to do because once you're on a team, you should actually be able to trust people in a team. That only works when the person that you're working for is not, the person that you're working for is a stand up. Is how do I want to say? I want to choose my words. The person that you're working for has some type of integrity. Let's just say that
Okay.
integrity. You know what I'm saying? Great people. Like I see it all the time. But this person here that we're talking about, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying, is out to just use a person until he's got everything and then he's gone. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
so when it's like that, then you need to keep everything super tight. It's hard to really trust anybody because at some moment you should know, he's going to piss them off in some way, and just to make sure it don't backfire. And in my opinion, a lot of things are backfiring because he's a very, very arrogant person. You know what I'm saying? Outside of being arrogant, I said it and I mean it. In my opinion, he's a monster. You know what I'm saying? Nothing that he does is like considerate of anybody else but himself. Everything is about getting the glory for himself. And then you got people out here who's worshiping that and worshiping his money. Like, yo, stop it. You're never gonna get none of. I know you're at home, like living through him, but let's be real. You know what I'm saying? He's gotten millions and to billionaire status off of stealing. You know what I'm saying? People's works, their rights, their talent, their publishing, their respect, their whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? And again, that's my opinion.
Mm-hmm. When you say that people admire him so much, do you think it's just for that they admire the money, or do you think it's something deeper that these people have this slavish devotion to him?
Um, some of it's the money, some of it is he's just very, very good at finding ways to manipulate people's minds. You know what I'm saying? And then based
Mm-hmm.
off of that, he just know how to build loyal people to him. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Or he know how to go find loyal people and bring them on a team. So
Mm-hmm.
he requires that loyalty, but it's not reciprocated.
Okay, that's a good one. We're going to get into that. But just to go back to, we're back in that security room. You see what's going on. When you tape Diddy, were you required to did the video go into like secret vaults or something like that? Did you have to like airdrop stuff? Or did he just tell everybody, just keep it with you? I'm
Well,
just
just
curious about the logistics.
depending on what it is. If it came from my phone, depending on what it is, I would just find one of the camera guys and drop it to him. Like, here, put this, or take this, or if his phone is around, I pick it up, put the passcode in there, and drop it to his phone and keep rolling.
You had
You
the
know what I'm saying?
passcode to his phone?
Oh yeah,
Oh, hmm. Oh. That puts your complaint in a whole different light. That
yeah.
puts your
Because you
complaint.
gotta understand, I'm not the type that's gonna go through his text messages, reading his stuff, or try to go through his emails, or go through photos trying to find. Like, I'm not interested in that. I think a lot of people that work with me knows that. I was um I was I came up under a production company like 2013. I was probably in production in the deal probably to 2016, I think. And this producer, I had the passcode to his computer, for example, that was left at the studio 24/7, and I had keys to it, right? And the
Mhm,
passcode could very much be the same right now, right? Not once did I ever go into the email to see what he's got in his email or still rip some files. Like, for me, you know, I feel like a cat looks like a cat. You know what I'm saying? A dog looks like a dog or
mhm.
whatever. And I feel like whatever you indulge in, you kind of walk around on this earth looking like that. You know what I'm saying? And so
Mm-hmm.
for that reason, I try to make sure that I'm you know, no one's perfect, by the way. You know what I'm saying? But at least
Mm-hmm.
I try as a man striving for perfection. I try to make sure that, all right, yo, just do this way, just do this way. Yeah, that's over there, but ignore it. It's not for you to see. They gave you this passcode for this particular reason.
Yeah.
For that and that only. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people know that, or they can feel that, and so as a result,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, the trust is is there. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
he felt that, management felt that, the assistants felt that, and the security felt that.
No, definitely. I mean, I feel you on the trust. I grew up with a nosy mom, not in a malicious way, but you would walk into the kitchen, she'd be in your book bag, read a note she wrote your friends, and be like, "Oh, so what's going on?" Like my mom was always in our business, but in a very loving. She was just
And watch
nosy.
this. I
Hmm.
got a I got a 15-year-old daughter, and
Mm,
and I have the right to go through her cell phone that
yeah,
I paid for. I
yeah,
get that phone sometimes. I be scared to go through it. Like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is,
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
I'm
I'm
just
the once
scared.
you, yeah.
Huh? Yeah,
Once you
I'm
have your
just,
privacy invaded, even by a loved one, after that, you are very respectful to other people's boundaries. Like, I don't need to know. Just if
yeah.
it's meant
But
for
the
me to know,
reality
I'll
is,
know.
I should know. But it's like, man, I'm just scared to go through it. My daughter's phone is, and this pops up, or this pops up, or
Ain't nothing
I
in
make a
there.
mistake
My parents
and
went through
see a
my whole
text to
life.
her mom talking about she need, the women stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah. Go through my phone. Ain't nothing in there. My parents went through my phone. They was probably bored. Like, that's all they doing. You know,
yeah.
I do. So, you know what? Well, let's get into this really quick, and then I want to get back into the parties because we see what the working environment is. We need to talk about those parties, but I also want to talk about the fact that you are basically in hiding. You did an amazing interview with the Rolling Stones. We have a few questions about that, but you are basically in hiding because you had to move states. You had to cut ties with friends. You had to do what you needed to do to protect yourself. And even with all that moving, I know you were a little shocked to heard it through the grapevine that you are also, congratulations, a new father for the second time. How is that moving state to state and being in hiding when you have like a new life that you need to, a second daughter, as a matter of fact, that you need to actually be there for and you want to be there for, you know?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that alone because it's a touchy situation again. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
definitely have moved states and places
Mhm.
multiple times just to. You got to understand, there was a private investigator that was hired. This
Mhm.
private investigator reached out to so many people around me that know me. It was crazy. It's like, yo, what the heck? And then on the phone with my daughter. Stop. You know what I'm saying? On top of that,
Wow.
my, you know, they've people who know some of the people I know that also know Puff as well has start calling people like, yo, is he over there? And then start popping up to their house and stuff like that, you know, and just the security. I had to just like, I got to about life
Mhm.
totally different now. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't taken a phone call, for example, at home in so long. I won't even answer my phone, and especially Android people. It's like, don't even text me, don't call me.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? That's the
Yeah.
easiest way. Because someone told me that, I don't say any name, but one of his kids' mom either used to or still does work for some type of tech company or cyber this or whatever. You know what I'm saying? She's like, yo,
Mhm.
too many times my phone start doing crazy things, my computers, certain things are there, then they disappeared, and then, you know what I'm saying? So much is going, so I don't even take phone calls at my house. I don't text much. People would be texting me and like, yo, why you don't answer my phone? They thinking I just changed on them, like I'm out to, you know what I'm saying? It's like, look, I'm
Yeah.
trying to survive. I'm trying to
Yeah.
survive. alive. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
and that's just that. And people don't understand it. All they can think about is their own needs or how entitled they are to be in reach and in contact with me. Like, look, I'm fighting for my fucking life. Excuse my
Mm-hmm.
French. You know what I'm saying? And for me, in order to keep everybody else protected too, is I just stay away. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? My parents don't know where I'm at. You know, I see them sometimes, but you know, my kids I haven't seen. You know what I'm saying? And that's just that. Um,
Wow.
yeah. And so,
I mean,
you know, the fact that we're even talking about this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm gonna just leave it alone. I'm getting ready to go to something else. Was like, yo, this is what it's come to. You know what I mean? This is
mm-hmm.
what it's come to, and this is what tells me. This is what makes me feel like, yo, he's a monster.
Yeah. I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
it's wild to me to hear that. And it makes sense now. You had literally passcodes, right? Diddy keeps people that will be reliable and dependable. Again, a lot of people like that keep good people around them because everybody in the group can't be in a monster, right? Everybody can't be a vampire. We need some people with fresh blood in there, right? So it's crazy to me that you had access to all this stuff. And now, even when it comes to safety, it makes sense why safety would be an issue. But it also is crazy to me that you basically have a newborn and you to protect your kid the way a father should, it's actually safer for you to be away from your baby than actually be there, really pouring into her and bonding. What That's a big sacrifice, and that's crazy that you're right. Something so simple has turned out this way. Like my heart goes all to you and your family and your parents and everybody that's actually dealing with this, because like you said, it's hot potato and everything you touch, they're going to try to hit you every which way. I do remember on Twitter and on TikTok where it was a whole big deal where that private investigator, we don't know if it's the same one, but a lot of content creators were saying that private investigators that work on behalf of Diddy were reaching out to them, trying to scare them away from reporting on TikTok about what was going on. Because TikTok, something can go viral and 50, 100 million people see it.
Yeah,
Reporting what was
and
going
I've
on.
gotten threats. I've gotten threats too,
What do
directly
you
and
mean?
indirectly. So it's like, yo, you know what I mean? This is just where we at, and it's sad. So, and I'm told that there were others. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
Mhm.
dang, this is what people has been dealing with all along. I now understand. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
yeah. And speaking of others, we do have Natania Rueben, the dopest nerd, joining us. She actually wanted to get a message to you. I thought this would be the perfect time to unite you guys. We're going to bring her up in a little bit. I just want to talk about the parties. But I thought, because she actually has a beautiful testimony to you about the way your lawsuit helped her connect the pieces. If you guys don't know who Natania Rueben is, when Diddy and J-Lo got I guess he got arrested. J-Lo got stopped by the popo, and he was literally, going crazy in the club. Natania Rueben, unfortunately, was hit in the face and suffered a life-altering tragedy. And even the fallout from people that were loyal to Diddy, whether at Diddy's asking or whether because they were just trying to get a penny, it parallels what you're going through so much. I thought it would be a great idea for you guys to actually talk and put together the dots. So we're going to bring her up in just a few moments, but I want to just touch on the fact of, you actually feel like you've been threatened, or it's just not safe for you. I know that you talked about, and again, some people might be like, oh my God, what's the big deal? But I do remember in your lawsuit, you made a mention to a gentleman named G, and how you witnessed somebody be bang banged a few feet away from you in a bathroom. and 3 people were in the bathroom, and only 2 people came out, and one was Justin and one was Diddy. And what you saw with Diddy, how many times do you think you saw things that made you be like, yo, I'm actually not safe, this is not cool, like what have I gotten myself into? It might be a little bit too far to turn back around.
You know, sadly, in order to be successful in this industry, you have to have some bit of fuck it in you, and you got to be of some type of numb, because every major camp, their stories. You know what I'm saying? There's stories from the NWA, the Dre's camp. There's stories from Puffy's camp. There's you know what I'm saying? Like, we could just go on. We in the urban music, and any major successful person, there's this type of things. Now the sad part is, for someone who's been in the music business so long, this should not be like a topic of a conversation. So you know what I'm saying? We got the
Mhm.
situation where she was hit in the face. Okay, that's at a club. Okay, um, Pac was shot at one of the studios. You know what I'm saying? And here
Mhm.
again, 2022. You know what I'm saying? During the writing camp of the Love album off the grid, another person is being shot. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And sadly, as a music producer, um, this is what you're subject to being around. Now, for me, when it's my studio sessions
Mhm.
that I'm hosting or doing anything, I take a bunch of extra precautions to make sure certain things like this is not happening.
Mhm.
And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And sadly, he's the type of person, you know what I mean? Like, and that's, I'm not gonna say anything further. Um,
Okay.
it's just, it's a sad thing. Like, let's just go down all the events that we've already discussed. We've been talking about Kim Porter. We've been talking about Cassie. You know what I'm saying? Our special guest is coming on right now that I'm getting ready to meet for the first time. We've talked about Pac. I'm even told that, some are saying that he could possibly be the reason, Biggie's in.
Yeah.
You know
We
what I'm
read
saying?
about that too.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's so much, and for me, and we've also discussed that an agent called my daughter. You know what I'm saying? People's following me around. People is my phone is going. You know what I'm saying? There was a couple of times I looked outside, saw a car parked out there for a long time. I said it was trying to go. You know what I'm saying? I had to move
Yeah.
location again. Like, yo, you feel me? And as Shadows was like, yo, what are we talking about right now? It's 2024. This
Yeah.
man can't be still, causing all his problems and walking this earth, going to the beach thinking it's sweet. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
Mhm.
what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
What
saying?
are we talking?
Yeah. And so I took I took it upon myself to try to come out for fresh air a couple of weeks ago, and I went to the human what is it called? Human and Harmony Fest.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I did that. Of course, I was a little scared, a little nervous, but I also did that. It's like, yo, gotta, you've got to at least try to move out, get comfortable, and then and have a little faith that, you know what I'm saying, that is safe for you, and that, you know what I'm saying, the universe won't put me in a situation that caused my life. You know what I'm saying? But the truth is, I came out. It's like, yo, I need work now. I need opportunities. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
so the best way I could think of is I got to come outside in some type of capacity and put on your best, because when you stressing, you're not looking good. You know what I mean? That's, you can never get anything that way. You got to come out looking
Yeah.
your best, like even though you feel not feeling all right, you gotta look like you feeling all right. And so, you know what I'm saying? I went outside, but the truth is, I did 4 gigs this year. 4. Last year, around this time, I touched every arena at least twice, and just in the United States alone. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? And so, you know what I mean? I've only done 4. And the bills are piling up. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, my vehicle is still in another state. I ain't even had enough money to ship my vehicle. So you know what I'm saying? And it's not
Yeah.
like I'm trying to move around anyway, but I got somebody, who's close to me, who's helping me through the process, just trying to make sure everything is straight. It's a little tough. It's like, yo, why is this still a topic that we're talking about here today in 2024?
Diddy. Yeah. I feel
You
you
know what
on
I'm
that
saying?
one. It's like a lot of people, you were a thriving musician. You had work. You had a cute little coin. You literally gave it up over just standing for what is right and being like, I'm not, it's not even about the money anymore. It's about the principle. And it's crazy to me. I always like, y'all know if you're on this channel how I feel. It's crazy to me how Diddy is fine to go, trollop on the beach, and Stevie J and his suede New Balances, they fine to be on the beach having fun, just living their lives. Diddy's kids are fine. And again, I'm not bringing the kids in like that. I'm going to be respectful, but it's fine to see his grown children enjoying their lives and all the fruits of their father's labor. It cracked me up the way people wanted to get critical and kind of shut down things because they saw you outside basically at an industry event trying to network. It's like sometimes I feel like in 2024 we have it. Why are the monsters free to walk around? Everybody wants to protect them, and the victim is like, go stay in the house and don't do this. And if you really a victim, we should never see you smile. You should never have opinions. As a matter of fact, show us a dirty face in a homeless shelter. No, I don't mean to disrespect anybody that is housing insecure, but I mean this weird thing like if you come out as a victim, you have to lose everything, hide in shame, show that you're miserable all the time. But the people that actually did it are fine to go about their lives. It's a
Yeah,
weird
and you know what?
mindset.
I got a little kickback from that. It was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
um, I don't know if you saw the video. It's a video with me and Uncle Murder, right? And
Okay.
this is at the Humor and Harmony Fest again. I'm not feeling my best. I'm trying to look my best, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody's cracking all types of jokes. They just saying things. Some mean it, some don't. But for the most part, people just saying funny jokes. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I spent my money to get that. Nobody flew me out. Nobody put me in a green room. Truth be told, um, you know, that was people who act like who knew me. They did know me. I'm sorry. There was people who knew me who act like they didn't know me once I arrived. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And
Yeah.
so I got no special treatment. I paid to get in the all white party just like everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't backstage when I ran into Uncle Murder. This was on the side somewhere, and I wasn't. I had no contact with him prior to.
Mm-hmm.
Before I knew it, it was a camera in my face, and if you look at the video, my lips start moving, but I really ain't said nothing. I'm like, shoot, did he just say that? I really don't know what to say. It's like, and so, the first thing came out of my mouth was, "I'm from Chicago. We don't play about our business." You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I was really just putting it in general statement because right now people is joking. Right now,
Yeah.
this is my personal business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I walk away in a total different direction. I don't even hear what comes out of his mouth next,
Yeah.
and then I'm trending all over social media and saying that I said I want my money by Monday.
Yeah.
I never said that. That never came out of my mouth. You know what I'm saying? And I got kickback from that because it's like, they sending me letters talking about I'm endorsing this and this. You know what I mean? It's like, man,
Yeah.
out of here. Y'all trying to figure out every way to to right to our wrongs, and that ain't it.
It's not it. You know, I want to bring Natasha up in 1 second, but really quickly, we're going to circle back to this. When was the first time the studio turned into the club? When was the first time you were like, oh my God, they don't do things like this in church? Like, when did that club environment happen?
That was day one. So you gotta understand,
Was
I've
it?
been to the studio before, and the studio I just pull right on in the parking lot. Cool, you know. When I'm in sessions in LA, after being in
Mhm.
these studios so many times, people know who you are. So it's like I just roll in with confidence. Whatever it is, I'm here to do a job. Let's go, let's go. And I
Mhm.
pulled up to the lot with confidence, like I'm supposed to be in here. And it's like, yo, sir, I don't think you understand. This this studio lot is not even a lot anymore. It's a
What did-
it's a party vibe. It's got basketballs. It's got IV drips. It's got a Ciroc bar. You know what I'm
You
saying?
said
It's got,
IV drips.
yeah. It's got everything you could think of right in the parking lots. Like, Jesus Christ, I've never seen this. You know what I'm saying? In my
Yeah.
entire life, I've never even heard about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like right then and there, I felt like I came with the wrong clothes on. It's like, yo, go put your performance outfit, because I'm in the studio sometimes. I'll just come in there in a regular jogging suit. Some things might not even match. I don't care. It's about how comfortable I feel when I'm getting ready to
Yeah.
work. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So that was the first time, and it's like, yo, it was set up like that for weeks, almost a month. It was just, what I
Would this
mean?
be every night when y'all were working, like after work, during work? When was it happening?
It was every night. It was stationed up. They built a whole tent and put white carpet on the floor of the on the ground, sorry, of the lot. So it was white carpet now, and
Okay.
red carpet here and there, and it was a tent built. So I'm told, um, yeah, I'm not gonna get into how
Okay,
much
so
they.
listen, you can give details though. What was the vibe like? What was the ratio of men to women? What was the vibes? Was it just only people in the writers' camp, or did they have just people mixing? Did you see celebrities there? Like, come on,
You
tell us
saw
about the party.
celebrities. I was confused because you never knew who was who. I was confused. You know what I'm saying? So you saw celebrities, but then you just saw a lot of people there who you might have thought there was nothing, but then there was a writer. But then you might have thought there was a writer or producer, but then there was just a guest of the writer or producer or whatever. So it's like, one time that one of the sons came rolling in with like 50, not once, a couple of times. You know what I'm saying? Like 50 people just come on through the studio, like, whoa. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
wow. Yeah.
So yeah, it was like hundreds of people at once in those sessions on a daily basis. Just look at it on up to 6 o'clock in the morning. That's when the traffic started dying down. It was like a consistent of a couple hundred people, whether it's people leaving out and still coming in.
Mhm.
It was like a
But if
bus station.
but if there was, here's a question I want to know: if there was all this music and all this stuff going on, and there was a tent set up outside, I'm sure the tent wasn't soundproof. Anyone that's been in LA, no, how come the LAPD wasn't like making noise complaints all the time, coming up, hating, starting it? I mean, that's what the
Well,
police do when they
you gotta
always see stuff.
understand, the next to the studio are, for example, businesses like Starbucks,
Hmm.
who's probably closed now, or next to,
Ah, okay.
you know what I'm saying? So it's that type of situation where it's like, where it might not be party speakers out there with 15, 18-inch subs, whereas
Mm,
obviously it's like, okay, y'all shut that down. The
yeah.
loud music is happening inside the studio, but for the most part, it's like you just got regular, crowd volume of people just talking.
I heard that he played Cassie's music a lot during the making of the Love album, or they listened to Cassie's music a lot. Did you ever witness that or hear that?
No comment.
Okay. All right. No comment. Um, did no comment. Did you ever see? Okay, not did you ever see, but how about this, right? Did you ever, while you were at the writers' camp, ever speak to the LAPD for anything?
No comment.
Okay.
and,
When you
and and my reason of not getting into it, that's an ongoing investigation. I'm being told that um he's probably more likely getting indicted real soon, and I just don't want to get into certain parts, whereas it messes up what the feds have going on. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, we have a lot of respect for the Department of Homeland Security investigations, and we would never want to do anything,
Yeah.
like you have said before, or it was just implied in your well, it was implied in your complaint to Diddy. Time will tell. Time will tell. You got all this stuff. You say you have the evidence. Diddy says
Yeah,
it
that's
ain't
one of
true.
didn't he quote that on his Instagram like
Diddy.
a couple of days before that Cassie video dropped? He said time will tell. He just quoted it verbatim. Yeah. Well,
That's the one time in
listen.
your life you don't want to
I
be
think
right.
there's a lot of people who want to see him brought to justice. And hopefully time will tell. I mean, he's in his 50. How much? His 50s. What, he got another 20 more years? I don't know. 30 more years? He's got a lot of money to buy time. He's been buying it. Had that been anybody else, they'd have been in cuffs by now. But
Hmm.
hey,
I
money and
mean,
power. That's my opinion. Money and power. Can buy you a little time. He's been friends with a lot of politicians. You can just Google and look, and you can see him with a
mhm.
president here, or a mayor here, or you know what I'm saying, or a senator, or whatever it is. So and police guys. So um, you know,
I mean, you
I,
said something very interesting a while back where Diddy has a very, in your opinion, carefully curated public image. I believe one of the public images is him being a great father. And I'll tell you what, and please don't start a fight in the comments, but in my opinion, Bill Cosby hid behind that perfect father role for a long time too. There's something about, I won't even say Black community, but even America, where if you can put forth that you are fathers knows best and a loving father, you can get away with so many things. You just got to make yourself out to be a
let's talk
very
about
loving
that.
father. Okay.
You know, and I'm gonna just try to keep my emotions in. I'm trying to get a little bit better. My immune system's been down, not getting sleep, the proper rest that I need to get during the nights, just kind of watching the doors to make sure everything is right, everything. But let's talk about that. You
Okay.
know, as a father, I've been in studio sessions with my kids. As a little kid, they're in their little stroller or they're in whatever, and I'm holding them, whether I'm just a bass player at the time, you know, as a father, I'm keeping them close to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm working through the
Mhm.
process, and you see my kids. You see me holding them. You see me changing their diapers. You see, I ain't seen none of that. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And
Yeah.
sometimes I look at the little one like, yo, I think she may know that's her father. She may not click that.
Oh.
Those, in my opinion, those are the things that I saw. Um, you know what I'm saying? But now, all you see on this page when he posts is mom birthday, this son's birthday, ex girlfriend's birthday. It's like, yo, you
Mhm.
ain't never celebrated nobody that much. You know what I'm saying? But this is his
Yeah.
manipulative way of trying to come back outside, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? He
Mm.
trying to manipulate the hearts and the minds. You know what I'm saying? Versus naturally, it's like, yo, if anybody see me with my kid, it's like it's hard to even. They're more in my lap than not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
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 And so I just seen that. It's like, yo, the kid is gonna come over for a little second, and then bam, it's not living in the house with you on 2-Star Island. It's living in the house on 1-Star Island. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, what? So
Yeah.
this whole what? So let me get this straight. This whole thing where Diddy, he's been trotting out his youngest baby, cute as a button, right? Um, and we see it on the Instagram photo ops. I thought they were using the baby as a vehicle to be like, please, I'm a good person, love me, right? Because who can get mad at a cute baby? But you're saying that it's all because from what your observation was, the baby wasn't even in. There's 2 houses, if you guys don't know, on Star Island in Florida, Star Island 1 and Star Island 2. The baby was in Star Island 2, and Diddy and his antics were in Star Island 1.
The other way around, but yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So even that was like very, very limited. And you, in your opinion, do you think like you said, the women all kind of knew their place, knew their role? There was never any friction with that.
Correct. It's like, understand, to get that close to him, you gotta have some type of NDAs and all that stuff. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
if they sign it, is if they get a check, it's neat. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so it was other way around. So Diddy lives in Star Island 2. He
Okay.
also owns Star Island 1. So
Mm-hmm.
1-Star Island is his home, and 2-Star Island, but he lives in 2. And the kid and the mom is in Star Island 1, and that's where they're being raised. And so
Oh.
that's just that. So I just can't see that in my eyes. How it's like, yo, even if I got 3-4 houses on the newborn is in my house right next to me, because I want to make sure that in the middle of the night, if she or he falls, you know what I'm saying, or
Yeah.
baby don't breathe, whatever it is, I'm the first respondent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or
Mm-hmm.
need to be fed, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, why did you have a kid? You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So, you know, that's for
Definitely a good
y'all to
point.
figure out. I told y'all my opinion. That's all
Yeah.
marketing.
But I
That's
have
my
a quick
opinion.
question. Were Miami and Diddy's last mother, their kids, were they pretty tight? Did they do lunch? Were they in the studio together? Did they have a
Never
healthy
seen,
relationship?
I never even knew Young Miami had kids.
What?
Kids never showed up over there. I've never seen that. I've never seen that.
Really?
Never.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
She really?
And I can't see that happening. Yo, if she came over there with them kids, their relationship probably wouldn't have lasted long. You gotta keep them separate. You know what I'm saying? Like, sadly, like my grandfather, who's 80 some years old, right, met me last year in Beverly Hills at Diddy's house. He had to bring me some of my plaques, right?
Mhm.
Some of my awards. And he brought it to me, but even I knew not to bring him past the front gate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He might want to see the get. He's not interested in none of that. But just say he was, or I want to see the
Okay.
guest house or the basketball, or let me see, because he's a carpenter. Let me see how the house is structured or whatever. Nope. Or let me meet the gentleman who my grandson is working with.
Mhm.
Keep all that separate. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Because those type of moves is what get you off the team.
So you had to isolate yourself from your loved ones, your family, whatever. That's how
Yeah,
you stayed on Diddy's
they
team.
can't just pop up over there. That's just,
Mm.
you know what I mean. You can't just have, friends at work or whatever. And watch this. He can very much not even be there. Just like a no.
And your family still is not allowed to come around to you. And you're saying that the whole time you saw young Miami, you never saw her
Never.
children around.
Not once. Again, I didn't even know she had kids.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's crazy, but it shows that again, listen, they said they were in love, and I guess you can be in deep in love and somebody can make you feel like you're resting in your womanhood. At the same time, your kids, for whatever reason, maybe it was Young Miami's reason, your kids were not around. But and you're saying that Diddy seemed to prefer it. I mean, listen, I was about to say as a Black woman, but I think that any women, whether you Black, white, whatever, right? Black, white, Puerto Rican, Haitian, but especially in the Black community. I mean, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Like, we like keeping our friends around us. We love keeping our children around us, and we love keeping our family around us. So it's just an interesting layer. But again, to each relationship is its own. Do you think that Miami had a close relationship with the last child? Because Miami's kids weren't around, but love was always around. Was Miami around when love was around? The baby?
Again, you talking about, yeah, so there's, again, the first time I saw Baby Love was on Thanksgiving. Miami was there.
Okay.
And this is when he introduced her to everybody, the family. They all found out at the same time.
What?
She was like a month or two old. Yeah.
Oh my, wait a second. But was Miami's kids at Thanksgiving?
No. And that's weird too. You know what I'm saying? But
That's why
it's
you
what it
thought she
is.
didn't have kids, because you were like, I
I'm
didn't
gonna tell
see
you
anybody at the
that
kids
that year
table.
was hard for me. That was the first year that I did not see my family, let alone my kid, on Thanksgiving, and then
Yeah.
turned around and did it again for Christmas and did it again for New Year's. That's hard. If you know anything about me and where I'm from, most Chicago people, like, yo, this is a time where we all get together as family and
Mm-hmm.
reunite. You know what I'm saying? For I'm the breadwinner in my family. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's like, the 4th of July, it's
Mm-hmm.
me and my cousin, we putting our money in to go get the nicest fireworks so we can get the family a nice show. Or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We put monies in our auntie's pockets so we can go get food so everybody can come together. Whatever it is, like, this is what I do. It's like, nope, I'm sitting here doing this. Now, at the time it was weird, you know, but I just had to look at it like, you're having Thanksgiving with Diddy. This should be a smile. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was hard.
Yeah.
And the things that went on that night, if you guys had a complaint, you can definitely see the things that went on at night. It's like, I would have never expected even 30% of what went on. So, and
Well, for
again,
those
I
that,
really don't want to, do too much
okay.
talking about kids or anything like that. But,
Yeah, okay. We'll be
Baby
respectful.
Love, she's innocent. She never asked to be born, and
Mm,
I don't want to say anything that 20 years from now she come back and see this and hate me. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And so I just want to keep it. Again, I didn't know that that Young Miami even had kids until a couple of months ago, and which makes sense because Diddy ain't he don't want nothing around him that ain't looking like they perfect. Yo, you had kids, go get that body done or whatever this is. It's just him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The studio got to be refreshed right before he walks in. They cleaning crew come in, even if it's clean, they gonna come in here just vacuums just so he want to see the new vacuum thing. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
just that's who he is. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion.
Yeah, listen, you're an honorable man, little Rod. And you're right. 20 years from now, you don't want the baby to see this, even though the feds have their way. It's going to be the least of
Yeah.
anybody with the last name Combs thing. But still, yet and still, it's interesting that when you look at it like that, you also had to leave your family for, what is this? You also had to leave your, family for a lot of things. Christmas, and again, it's odd to me. And again, this is the public persona and who he really was, like that Bill Cosby thing. Let me just say this, and then we'll move on. Someone that portrayed such a family man Why is it that people had to be around you Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's Eve? And maybe Young Miami was looking at it the same way you were, like, this is a job. Like, I got to be here. Let me do this.
That
And
would make more sense. Yes. That
yeah,
would make more sense. Yeah.
Yeah, because she's a loving mom. And again, maybe Thanksgiving, I don't know if she was foreign, like she's not foreign, but maybe when you foreign, Thanksgiving don't really hit like it does when you're American. But Christmas and New Year's, you can kind of explain away. When the kids are little, it's like, but Christmas, it's like, ain't no way that anybody can actually, and it's no way that anybody can actually lead their kids for Christmas without, and again, I get why you did it. I get why maybe Young Miami did it. She's working on a relationship. She wants to make sure it's secure. But the weirdo part is, why would Diddy ask that of people? That's all. Why would he require that for you to leave your family on Christmas? Okay, so Young Miami, everybody found out about, as far as again, this is all your impressions, right? There might be a backstory you don't know about, but your impression was that everybody kind of found out about the baby on Thanksgiving. How did everybody react? What was everybody's face looking like?
Again, it's extremely hard to give anything other than a face of satisfaction in front of Diddy. It's hard if you just show like you don't like, get him out of here, or get her out of here.
Really?
Yeah, you got it. He's made a bunch of yes people around him. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so everyone, no matter who you were, your face you better straighten up that posture and look like, So when it happened, everybody was like, yay, and just jumped on board. Was anybody like, anybody taken aback, put some stuff in their mouth and just sit there chewing real slow? Did you recall seeing any narrowed eyes?
I couldn't really zoom in to their emotions because it was a lot happening for me first time at that moment. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I see y'all, but I don't. Look, I'm away from mine right now. You know what I'm saying? But then it's like, I thought I should have been sitting outside at the employee table and I get away from him to come inside. So now I'm sitting at the table. I also was introduced from him to the table as his new production partner. He also had me to say grace over the food. So it's a lot that's happening in that moment. You know what I'm saying? But I just leave you with that. I don't want to give
Okay.
too much.
Okay.
So, yeah.
We'll back off. We'll talk about the aftermath. We'll back off. But let me just say this, right? I find it very, very interesting that if you tend, and this is to the audience, to believe the rumors that Diddy, there's some type of something there, right? Narcissistic tendencies. It is funny the way he kind of like dangled what everybody wanted and gave you a hint that you're close. So somebody's making me miss Thanksgiving, right? Me and my family argue all Thanksgiving, but we laugh a lot too, But in the meantime, it's going to be some arguments, but you wouldn't miss it for the world, right? What would it take to miss me Thanksgiving? It would take an opportunity. It would take something that was for sure. It would take something that's just a little more. And after that, I can spend every Thanksgiving with y'all, right? So it's funny how he came in and he was like, yo, this is my production partner. So you're like, okay, I'm just a little closer. And also, why don't you say the prayer? Because you were new to the group. So he put you in a position of honor. You're a God-fearing man. You're saying prayer. If that was me, I'd be like, yo, I'm really close. Things are getting closer and closer and closer. And then after that, he's dangling it. And then you don't have to say anything. But I just do want to point out in the complaint, once like midnight hit in the complaint, it sounds like the purge started happening, but it was like the X-rated version of the purge.
Go read that complaint, because that night is, one of the nights I got essay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, it talks about the 3 white lines that was laid in the bathroom and everything. So, and that's I'm not at liberty to
Well,
talk much
you don't have
more
to.
about it.
Let's have a moment
Yeah,
of silence for you,
but
Mr. Rodney Jones.
yeah.
And let's just say that people were saying that, well, it's been alleged that Diddy was intoxicated and offered Coca-Cola, right? You were offered Coca-Cola by Diddy, you rejected it, and you decided to walk to the restroom. It was at the Star Island house. Young Miami and a female cousin, it's alleged, were also present. While using the bathroom, Young Miami's cousin busts into the bathroom and began groping you. You believed, well, it's been alleged that you had come to believe that Diddy sent her in there to sexually assault you. As she entered the bathroom, she dropped to her knees. Drop and give me 50. Drop. Sorry. Okay, I'll be serious, right? But when I read grim stuff, I got to make jokes. I apologize. Okay. As she entered the bathroom, she dropped to her, right? And began performing sloppy toppy on your exposed. You pushed her away and you ran out the bathroom. Now, here's the thing. Her cousin did not accept your rejection and she proceeded to follow you out the bathroom. She started undressing and attempted to straddle you and have blank with you in the presence of not only Diddy, but also his staff. Once again, you pushed her off. Again, there are images that are included in the complaint. If anyone wants to grab a copy of Young Miami, her cousin, you and Diddy, in case anybody was wondering whether you were actually telling the truth about being there on Thanksgiving. It was a lot. Again, to a lot of people, and I get it, and this is why it was so brave for you to come out. A lot of men, I believe that essay is essay. I believe that violence is violence no matter what. It doesn't matter that you can put me through the wall with one punch. It's still mentally degrading and abusive and all that if I'm putting my hands on you. A lot of men have this trope that even when, and let me just make this analogy and then I want to bring up our special guest, okay? But it's sad in our society that you hear about maybe a youngin' that is a girl and a teacher, right? 25-year-old and somebody in 8th, right? Don't even got 14 candles on their cake. And you hear about that happening and you want to see that person under the jail. However, if you flip it and it's a woman teacher and a boy that don't got 14 candles on his cake, all of a sudden everybody is like, oh, ha, ha, smacking hands. Yeah. When at the end of the day, you are preyed on just like everyone else. So again, I think that not until somebody is trying to invade your space, your mind, your body with unwanted attention, the effect, whether you're man or woman, is the same. You can hide behind ego and bravado, but it don't make it any less of what it is, which is a cold, brutal, humiliating assault. Again, if you close your eyes and imagine that you are a woman and that's a man doing that to you, right? People would have been like, yeah, we got to bring up the S trafficking. And again, this is not to denigrate anybody's pain or suffering, but I think as a society, we do need to do better because an abuser is an abuser, an assaulter is an assaulter, and someone that creates sick atmospheres like that, no matter what they ask for, it just needs to be stopped. But you know what? I do want to say this, you guys. I said we had a special guest. If you guys don't know, Natania Rueben, she currently has a YouTube channel, The Dopest Nerd. If you guys watched our exclusive interview with her, she is the woman that Diddy actually pow-powed in the face. She still has stratina and bullet fragments in her cheek. However, when I actually discussed it, you were going to be here. She actually wanted to come up and just have a few words with you. So with no further ado, let's bring up, of course, our girl. Hi. How are you? What is going on? Thank you so much for joining us. Oh, wait, I think
you're forever going to be my brother. Can you hear me?
We can hear you now. You were muted.
Okay.
Okay.
You will forever be my brother. Honestly, we literally belong to a club that neither of us asked to join, but it sticks with you for life. When you were describing what you are going through, I walked that journey for 24 years. I promise you, nobody wanted to listen. People did not believe me. I was almost at tears listening to you because it mirrors my experience. And I'm telling you, whenever you feel like your safety is at possibly in danger, trust that feeling. Being a man, it's not left on deaf ears to me that God chose a man of God and a woman of God to be the ones to topple this empire. Trust, I am a woman of faith like you would not believe. And I tell you, he never gives you more than you can handle. Never. And it has been times where I thought I was going to lose my mind. Because being victimized, and while he's not the most famous person in the world now, back then he was Beyonce of back then. And nobody wanted to hear me. It was horrific. Horrific. So shout out to Tisa for having you. Shout out to you for having your say. That is huge to me. When she said she was having you, I said, I need to talk to him. It was the reading of your lawsuit that literally I was watching Tisa and she was reading the counts of your lawsuit. And I heard that count where you said he fired the gun in the club and shot the lady. I was sitting on my couch like, wait, what? For 24 years, he has vehemently denied it. And now you're bragging. It changed everything. It changed everything in my walk, in my life. Since then, it changed everything. And I thank you so much for having the courage to speak truth to power. It takes, sometimes in life, we feel like the little guy, but it takes the little guy to topple a giant and a monster. It requires the faith of a kingdom walker to topple a monster. And so always know, you don't walk this walk alone. I am here whenever you need. If you need to talk, I don't care what time of the morning it is. I am going to listen because let me tell you something. I know countless mornings where I needed somebody to talk to. And I'm not a crier, but I'm at tears. 24 years. December 27th will be 25 years. There are people on this live who are not 25 years old. I endured the private investigators. I endured the harassment. I endured everybody calling my phone. I endured the death threats. I endured the vans parked outside of my house and trying to protect my kids. I went through all of that. It was a lot. And this is a cry I've been waiting to have for 25 years. It was a lot. I feel a level of connection to you that you would not believe. And it might seem like I'm sad, but it's cathartic tears. Trust me. I hate that you have to go through it, but my God, you don't walk this journey by yourself. You don't walk it by yourself. Whenever you feel overwhelmed, I am here for you, brother. You are my brother forever. You understand me? I mean, I'm a brutal Trinidadian. I got the thickest skin in the world, and brother, I caught your thick skin because, baby, it's a lonely road walk, and it's a tough walk, but we will be victorious. You hear me? You not in this fight alone. I promise. I stand with you. I stand in the gap with you. I'm walking this journey with you. By the grace of God, you have somebody who knows, can understand, can relate to walk it with you. I got 9 bullet fragments in my face, and I promise you, I would go into the world and people will victimize me as if this wasn't victimization enough. You don't deserve that. And on behalf of someone who has walked the journey that you are now walking, if no one ever apologized to you for what you endured, I apologize to you for what your soul had to endure. Because it's just not your physical body dealing with it. It's your soul, it's your mind, it's everything. I know what this is for 25 years, brother. I am so happy to hear you and see you. I promise. I'm so happy. It has been an experience. And I'm telling you, your words, your kindness, your faith walk, your willingness to speak truth to power freed me from a captivity I didn't even know I was in for 25 years. I promise you. I literally recorded that TikTok right after I heard Tisa read the counts. And I thank you. I thank you.
I'm so speechless right now. I'm so speechless. My
And I didn't
career,
expect to cry.
yeah, I wasn't expecting that. This is new to me. I just found out as I was getting on that you was getting on, so this is all new to me. And I'm trying to keep it together. But my career it's been on the line, and I've been in the music industry for that long at least. And not only that, my relationship with my family is very distant, and
Yeah.
my life has been in danger. But to hear from you and to hear that the action that I've taken is now heading in the step of getting justice for you, is I'm speechless. You know what I'm saying? I'm speechless to the whole situation, and I know there's more. But for you, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You could have died. I
By the
know
grace
people
of God,
who
I
got
did.
shot in the leg and are dead. You know what I'm saying? You got shot in the face. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you're still alive to tell a story. And finally, you know what I'm saying? People are hearing of the truth. He said it himself. Time to tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? And right now, that means more to me than anything I can think of right now. Just to know that right now you're getting a step closer to justice, and at some point you'll be able to rest and knowing that that monster who did this to you, you know what I'm saying, can't harm anyone else. You know what I mean? So
And that was my whole thing. If anybody had listened to me 24 years ago, you would not have had to endure.
they
Cassie wouldn't have had to endure. Kim, everybody, Tupac, Biggie, everybody else, they would not have had to endure if somebody listened to me. But they don't want to listen. People are beholden to money and power and position and celebrity. And it's disgusting. We got to get, the Bible says God is no respecter of person. God loves the man who cleans the toilet like he loves the emperor of a civilization. Nobody has preference over the next. But in society, people walk around and say they're Christians, but they're not. I've never seen people not follow the word like this time period in life. The word said God is no respecter of person, but it also says cry aloud and spare not. And I thank you for crying aloud and saying
uh,
what you had to say and telling the truth. I'm going to always stand on my faith. I'm going to always, that's me. It's what got me this far. There were times where I'm talking blood relatives, people that you slept in the same bed with will turn their back on you.
uh,
And you will feel like you are walking a road alone, but I'm telling you what it is. When God is ready to elevate you and you are ascending to another level in life, so help me, God, He has to isolate you. And so, this period of isolation that you're feeling, do not give up, brother. I don't care how heavy it gets. I'm going to give Tisa my information. You call me whenever you want. I don't care what time. Because it's not going to just be cathartic for you, it's going to be for me too. For all the nights I cried when nobody was there. And I mean that
listen,
with my
listen,
heart and soul.
if I can give you when this is all over and it's safe for me, I can't wait to give you a hug in person.
Thank you.
You
I
know,
hug you
and,
too.
and I'm guilty. I'm a hugger. I'm guilty, and I just feel like I don't know if you know the story of Caleb. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like after this is all over, there's going to be a new beginning, a new life for the both of us, where we'll be able to just
I believe it.
live. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been forced to be in the corner rooting for myself, like to build myself. That was, you know, while I'm holding, I feel like I'm holding it up good. There's been too many nights where I had to just find a way to build myself and make me, you know what I'm saying, happy. Make me like, God, I know you wouldn't take me this far in my career just to, you know what I
To
mean?
bring you here. And
Just to
let those
bring me
tears
here
flow,
and then
brother.
let it fall. Like I got real instruments I play, you know what I'm saying? And I've been in, I started in the Christian world. Excuse me. There's that many amount of souls that I've helped bring to Christ. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's albums that people probably still listen to this days that I've worked on and produced on that's probably helping. And 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 yet I've been in the corner like just trying to figure out like, yo, what's my purpose? Like, is this it? Is this the end of life? Is this the end of the road?
No,
You know, am I gonna
it's
get
not.
shot in the head, or you know what I'm saying, when I go out to the garbage can? You know what I'm saying?
Listen, let me tell you
You know what I'm
something. And
saying?
trust that
It's been
feeling.
so much.
Trust
I
that
got
feeling. Don't
I
sleep
got
on that.
three.
I
Yeah,
walk to
I
my
got.
mailbox
Yeah, it's
strapped
been
up. I'm
tough.
strapped
I
at all
got three
times.
three 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 psychiatrists I had to talk to, and lots of emergency calls. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just to build me up. You know, I'm trying to. I need to get back out and work. Can't work. Can't. You know what I'm saying? So many things. I got one artist who's been supporting me through this all. One.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I can't even talk about how many artists who I
People
produce
will
for.
turn their back on you, but this is not for
You know what I'm saying?
this walk is not for the faint at heart.
Yeah,
See, God is not going
I'm
to
in
allow
this walk
anybody to walk
alone.
with
Yeah,
you. He's not going to let anybody walk with you that is not of the faith. You will begin to see who is pure of faith. I promise you, there were some times where the only people on the road were me and my children, me and my kids. I'm talking
mm,
the closest people to me would be like, okay, you told me that story 3 times. I done heard that 10 times. Just be happy you alive.
yeah,
As a people, we got to do better to each other than that. If somebody has been traumatized in their life and they are speaking to you, we only speak to get it out of us. Because let me tell you something, brother, get it out of you. If you don't get it out of you, any dis-ease and disharmony that lives in you will turn to disease. Get it
yeah,
out of you. If you need to cry, cry. Tears are purification for your soul.
yeah.
Get it out of you. For many years, I didn't cry, and I was a mean person for quite a few years. And I had to just give it to God, put it on the altar, and get it out of me. Because it hurts to watch the person who took your life continuing to live their life and enjoy.
Mm,
I don't think God meant for life to be like this. And you got to process those feelings.
definitely. I wanted to actually draw some interesting parallels that I don't even think Rodney knew was there. First of all, we're gonna have to do a little comedic relief for everybody in the chat that is not a Ballsma or whatever devil on his hat. That is a Billy Goat. You guys, have you not been to a DD petting zoo? What, y'all better stop playing. We have a testimony here, and y'all like, oh my God, that is a Billy Goat. Go to a
They're
petting
going in
zoo.
on my
Get
hat.
out.
They're
Go
going in on.
like you guys
I
like
don't
literally.
listen.
You do
I
not
don't
know
even
what
know what.
goats look like.
If they can go on it, they can go on it. It's not even my hat. Watch this. My
Exactly, but
clothes
not
in
even that.
storage,
We
and
just
and and,
needed to
and, and
like
my clothes in storage in
yes. So
California. I don't even
his
have all of my wardrobe. I don't even have all of my instruments. You know what I'm saying? And it's just been like
yeah.
that all year. And so forgive
Listen,
me
and
if I put on
also
the hat. I don't even know the symbol. My hair
it's
ain't the
no
greatest.
symbol. It is a Billy Goat. We all read the Billy Goat Gruff. If not, go pick it up. It's a classic. It's in the kids section of the library. Okay. So, but I wanted you guys to discuss, and I wanted to lighten the mood too. But I wanted you guys to discuss. There's so many similarities. Like I was shocked when Rodney says that he's had to move states. He doesn't even let his mom knows where he's staying. He hasn't really been able, in his opinion, to spend significant time that he would want unencumbered with his daughter. And I remember when you did the interview on this channel and you were talking about how you basically fled New York and had to move to Atlanta. But then when you was in Atlanta, you felt like Diddy's arms were kind of reaching into Atlanta. For everybody that's wondering, before she testifies, if anybody is new, this is the dopest nerd. Natalia, she is a survivor of Diddy. When somebody said that Diddy messed with her too, not in the way that you think. Diddy and J-Lo and Shine were involved in a shooting at a nightclub. They fled. Jennifer was released. Diddy and Shine both went to court. Shine was convicted. Diddy got off. Natania always said, yo, it was Diddy. I remember it clear as day. It was him. If you look at the evidence, there's a lot of things pointing to it being actually Diddy. So it was kind of like a full circle moment in the most horrible, but also satisfying way. And for years when she said that, people are like, oh, come on. He would never. You're a liar. She lost friends. The people closest to her were compromised. You have to watch the interview. It's a powerful one. But to make a long story longer, nobody believed her and she felt like she was going crazy. She had to flee. They were messing with her. Diddy had to settle and pay her $1 million. People are saying he was furious about that. Diddy is notoriously cheap. He doesn't like to pay a penny more than he has to. Some people say he thinks he's untouchable. So when Little Rod, and this is how I came to know Natania, when Little Rod's lawsuit came out and I did a live about it, reading it, and it's funny how life is, right? The internet connects us all, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yep.
You heard his words, and literally you said people that had laughed at you, called you crazy, they came back around and was like, oh my God, you were
spun the block so quick. People I haven't talked to in 25 years, 15 years, 19 years. Hey, boo, what's up? How you doing? Girl, you was right. It was disgusting. And prepare yourself for that too, Rod. People will spin the block.
It's already happening. Like, yo, like, my phone rings from nosy people more than, you know what I'm saying? I got people who all of a sudden want to be close to me and just spamming the phone all day and get mad when I'm not saying the truth is it's all that powered off somewhere. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of that. It's like, and then don't let my face surface through the news or the news outlet, the media, anything. It's like the phone start ringing. It's like, yo, and every time it gives me anxiety.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying?
You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen, I'm talking people. I had girlfriends that since your lawsuit came out, I had to cut them off. Came back to me and was like, girl, all that stuff you were saying, we thought you was crazy, girl. You was right. Oh my God, this my home girl. This my home. I had to cut them. I said, you thought I was crazy? For what? Why would you think I was crazy? Girl, you know, it just sounded so extra. Making your tires flat and doing all, it just sounded extra. It was too much, but you was right. So it took a stranger to confirm to you, your friend that you know that's always here for you and been your friend is right. A stranger had to validate that for you. I was done.
Yeah. I
was done. And what bothers me the most is the people that watch the videos and saw Tisa and saw all these things, and then they come around like, hey girl, long time no see. Do you got such and such phone number? Acting like they didn't see anything. That annoys me. I would much rather you say, hey girl, I saw your interview. Kudos to you. Proud of you. I would much rather that. But that's acting like you don't know.
People can't believe that
crazy.
People can't believe that they're that close to something. You know what I'm saying?
And people want to be adjacent. Like, that's what it is.
We only see it in the movies, or it can't be like. No, this is real. Like, yo, Kid Cudi's car got blew up for real.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm
not the one to say who
I
did
had
it.
7 flat tires on the same tire on a BMW that uses run flats. People came in like, oh, girl, you probably just need to get a better car. No, I had a BMW, top of the line. BMWs use run flats. You're not supposed to blow out a run flat. That's what tells me that these people in the audience, in the comments, don't know what they're talking about. How could I have 7? You know what the guy at the BMW place? And the tire shop would say, somebody after you, girl, you got a crazy baby father. Let me hurry up and get you out of here because I don't need no problems. It was them the whole time. It was them the whole time. I had to get rid of the car.
Let
And don't let anybody gaslight you because they will.
Let me ask you a question, Natania, and this is just for anybody that's like, well, how far can Diddy's reach go? I know you, Little Rod, you're involved in litigation, so you have to be very, we don't want to mess up Homeland Security's investigations case, because at the end of the day, listen, I want everybody to get paid. It's not even me being like, ha, 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 run the dollars, even though I don't think people realize how much these people at the top only value their money. And they will apologize, they will grovel, and they will come the next day with no shame and act like nothing happens. If you get them in their pocket, they care about that. But I think everybody wants justice on a criminal level to be served, right? And make sure that we can actually break this circle. But like Natania, for those of you guys that saw that live, this is not going to be anything new to you, but for you, why don't you share a little bit about you had to move and there was all this weird stuff going on, but even when it came to your legal representation to make Diddy pay because he did not want to pay, there were ops even with that. Like when you look at people around money and power, they have a way to get to everyone. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
I'm gonna say this, but I'm not gonna get too much in it. I'll just tell you this. I hired somebody who's a Christian, by the way, and works with a lot of Christians, to come on my team to help me get what I'm supposed to get, right? And during the process, I felt like, in my opinion, Puff flipped him. You know what I'm saying? And so at that rate, I started just making sure, I have certain evidence. Okay, I'll just say that. So this person also said to me, "Lerod, do you have daughters?" I said, "Daughters? I got kids with an S. Why would you bring that? Do you have a daughter?" Yeah. But listen, man, I don't want you to be worried about this BS with Puff. I want you to move forward, enjoy quality time with your daughter, real talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At that rate, that was it for me. I was done. Hadn't spoke to me since that day. And then I saw a video that's clear. It says, this person went to school with Puff, promoted with him. They were classmates, made money, the whole 9 yards. It's like, no, he didn't flip you. You was
It's
with
subtle
him.
messages, yeah.
You was with him since day one.
Yep, subtle threats.
So automatically you came on my team. You started working backwards against me for him. This is the powers that he has. So excuse me if I'm a little numb right now. I sort of cried my last tears. I'm tired of crying. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of staying up late. My immune system is just weak because this is the only way I know to protect what's around me is to stay up through the night. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? And move last minute if necessary. And you know what I'm saying? But these are all the trickeries that people have been subject to. It's just like nothing feels new to me. Yeah. I've never heard of somebody hiring a private investigator to, you know what I'm saying? To you know what I mean? Get into your business or something else. Is like, whatever it is, or call my daughters, or you know what I'm saying?
Because the angle is to try to get into spread a tentacle into every facet of your life to discredit you. It's what happened to me. They will try to discredit you, and what burned him the most is that he could not. Because trust me, 25 years is a long time.
Yeah,
and that's why God. But here's my understanding. That's why God chooses kingdom warriors, because there's not going to be a whole bunch of craziness in your background. That's why he selects us. See, he's not going to choose anybody that he could come and discredit. He's going to choose somebody who, and like you said, nobody is perfect. By no means am I perfect. but I live a clean, righteous, wholesome life. I have the full armor of God, the breastplate of righteousness on. I don't play them games. I don't play in the street with people. I am a woman of God, and I don't play around with anybody. And I'm always conscious of my safety. He chose us for a reason. There was a time where I never would have had a weapon or anything like that. I stay strapped. I will not go get my mail out the mailbox in front of my house in a secluded suburb without my gun in hand, because I'm not playing that twice.
Yeah.
I don't come to this world to cause harm to anybody. But you better believe, if you think you're taking me, we both going, or you going, because it ain't gonna be me.
Yeah, it's hard.
I have a child.
And
I have children. I got a grandchild. I'm not going nowhere.
Yeah.
No time soon.
It's hard, and we got to thank Tisa, because I'm gonna tell you, I had one interview for, and I think I'm handling this very, very well, because the last interview I ran out in tears, and you know what I'm saying, and my attorney had to come for me. Everybody around me, it just had to hold me up, because one of the things he did was try to look into my past, right? Anybody knows me, if you've really been around me long enough, this is how long I've been a victim. Right, and they typically brought up something that happened over 20 years ago when I was 17 years old, and the only reason I pled guilty because I didn't have the money resources to fight it, and it was my cousin who died in the car that I was driving.
I heard all of that, and I knew what it was when I heard it.
And they brought that up. Nobody, just the question. They don't even know. It sent me, my brain went here, ping, ping, here.
And that was the intention, to mess you up.
I wasn't at his funeral, but I was there. For over 2 decades, I've been going to the accident scene and the graveyard, and I wasn't there. I was there for everybody else but me. And I had my therapy. It's like I was glued to the phone.
Listen, my therapist was my best friend for a whole lot of years.
You know what I'm saying?
My best friend.
Yo, that tore me up. It still does, but I'm a little better. I went to the graveyard for the first time, and to the accident site for the first time for myself. I visited my cousin the first time this year. June 16th is when he died.
Praise God.
2003, and I wasn't old enough to buy cigarettes, but I was old enough for them to charge me as an adult. You know what I'm saying? And so this is the trauma that I've been subjected to, and as a result, because of that, you know, I was a target, because it's like, yo, I can get in an argument with somebody, or not even argue, doesn't matter. You can just tell the police, and when they see, oh, he's got that, it's like, yo, take him. And because of that, I've had to fight for my innocence. You know what I'm saying? For years, just fight for my innocence. Like, and as a result, still to this day, some commotion could happen with somebody else around, and I just kind of start trying to find my way to get out. You know what I'm saying? This is what I've been subjected to. So he did that, and the person that I was talking to, I looked at them like, yo, is he paying you too?
Yes,
you know what I'm
he
saying?
is. Everybody that you think is compromised is compromised.
Yeah, and so as a result, I've been quiet. Ain't nobody but Tisa, and I've never met her in person.
Let me tell you something. I love Tisa.
Certain things she's been doing. I'm like,
I love Tisa so much. You would not believe.
And she's the only reason why I'm able to come on here and talk. She made me feel like.
Shout out to Tisa. First and foremost, like, I know God is using you and walking through.
She don't have a motive but to bring out the truth. And I met you. When I saw your video, again, I'm handling it well right now. I don't like to cry in front of no camera. Let me tell you how different.
Like, I'm
so not a crier either.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I'm so not a crier either.
I cried all over everything, because it was then that I felt like, you know what? This woman, before she leave this earth, is gonna have her time and day with
Absolutely.
him. And she's gonna
get stood steadfast on that.
Yeah, she's gonna get the justice that's necessary, and everything. I'm gonna leave the floor alone. I'm gonna let y'all have it, because I'm
You gotta go, Rob. We've had you on for so long. Let us know if you gotta dip out. It's
No,
cool.
Tisa, you're a woman of God. I just want to say you're a woman of God, and God is
Thanks,
definitely
Mama
using
and
you,
Daddy
because
tells.
this is where it's Mama and Daddy tells. All praises due to you. This is where it started. Me listening to Tisa, hearing your lawsuit, and I am eternally grateful. She has been nothing but a ray of light. I tell Tisa, listen, girl, stunt and shine your bright light, because she is a bright light. Shine your bright light. Let no one dim your light. Anybody who's trying to dim your light, nobody robs an empty store. People only rob stores that are full of valuable things. And so if anybody's trying to come at you, target your neck, it's because there's something valuable in your store. I know the Hope Diamond up in my store. They've been trying to come for me. I'd be like, I always say, bring your best and brightest, boo-boo. Don't send nobody with a butter knife to this fight, because they are woefully unarmed when they coming for me. And I mean that. And I'm talking the me in the flesh and the me in the spirit. This breastplate of righteousness, baby, you can't pierce it with armor. You can't pierce this armor with anything. Nobody can make me compromise my integrity. Nobody can make me compromise my flesh, my mind, my spirit. Nobody. Tisa is a woman of God. Everybody throw them likes up and follow Tisa and represent. I promise, because this is God's work this is the manifestation of God's work in flesh, in real life. You can't ask for better than this. I don't shed tears. I don't be shedding tears like that. So for me to be on here ugly crying, like, I felt that. It was everything. I'm telling you.
I feel you. Really quick though, I want you to share, because I don't think we actually even got into it in the live, but why don't you just when Little Rob was saying that, he had friends around or people that he trusted, and he was like, yo, did you get flipped? And he felt like something was off. Why don't you share your experience that actually happened with your lawyer that was helping you get paid from Diddy? Because this is going to shock y'all and let you know how deep things go.
So this is my former attorney. So the settlement was actually more than what Tisa said. I ain't going to drop it though, but it was more than that. But there was a
big
portion,
money.
But there was a portion of it that was Shine bore the responsibility to pay, and he has yet failed to do so. He still has. And when I've been contacting my attorney, I'm like, yo, what's going on with my documentation? What's going on? Why are we having this problem pursuing Shine? And this woman started flipping. Oh, you knew such and such. You were there. I watched you shine. I watched you sign the documents. I sat next to you. I said, what the fuck are you talking about? You're a liar. You didn't sit next to me and watch me sign anything. I wasn't there. When the final settlement came, I didn't go. My mom and my son went because I had been through so many changes. I didn't want to go. It wasn't the first time. And I said this to her. I said, yo, how much? And I literally recorded that conversation like I record every fucking conversation. And I sent her a text message with a snippet of the recording. And I said, I wonder what the price is for your integrity. Hope it didn't go too cheap. And I sent her a snippet of her on that phone. When I tell you it took her about a week, she got a whole dose of get right. Called me back with yes, I was able to find the documents and here they are. And I've sent them to you and all this stuff. But trust me, when they were flipping her and somebody was standing right next to her because she was saying things, I was like, are you out of your damn mind? What the fuck are you talking about? You're a flat out liar. And I don't mince words. I was like, you're a liar. You're a flat out liar. Who are you performing for? Who's standing next to you? I still have that recording on, and I'm never going to get rid of it because I said to her, I said, oh, you was flipped. Clearly, you can tell when people are flipped. You can tell when people that you've known for years. I've known this woman for 25 years. I could tell instantly this was not the same person I had knew. And I was like, damn, how much did you send me out for? I hope it's at least the 30 pieces of silver that Judas sold Jesus for.
Whatever their percentage of the settlement was, which with her lawyers is anywhere between 33 to 40%, right?
Yeah, they definitely.
If they double that or triple that and then promise they can get into the pipeline, just like Little Rob was saying, it happens all the time. And the thing is, a lot of people think that it'd be like some Tom Clancy spy novel, but it happens. I just want to say, from violence to seduction to money to just flat out betrayal and clout chasing. When I call people bootlickers, someone, if everything that's being said about Diddy is true, and I do believe it is true, you do not get away with all this for years by luck. People are not just sitting there scared while you doing the Diddy bop. People are not staying quiet because they just have respect. It's systematic oppression. And people need to just take a step back and know that even it happens from the news articles you read, your favorite blog spots. There's and no shade to bloggers, right? I love bloggers. I am one. But you get what I'm saying.
Me too.
It's like, yes, you guys, follow the Dopest Nerd. If you're watching some playback, we're going to put a link in the description box to her channel.
Thanks to
she
Tisa.
She is almost to her goal. Let's get her there. But I do want to say that, people think bloggers can be bloggers are corrupt. Let me tell y'all something. Nobody thinking about bloggers, and if they are throwing pennies. And baby, as you can see, I am quite loved and well fed, right? I can afford to save my soul. I don't need to sell my soul. My soul is cool, Yep. But my whole point is, we look at bloggers, what about bots? There is a war being fought in respected news organizations, quote unquote. Headlines that are being run by things that have 500 million followers. When you look at misinformation, it's something as simple as the way they phrase something in the paper to lead you to believe that someone's lying, or somebody said, let me have my money, or somebody said, It's a lot. It's a lot. So it's like, in these times, I remember Jack, this is the last thing I'll say, then I'll get the floor back. I was watching this thing with Jack Dorsey. He used to be the person, he was the former owner and founder and creator of Twitter. He sold out to Elon Musk $4 billion. So already, I was giving him the side eye, what you got to say from your mansion? But he did say that it was a regret. And then in the next 5 or 10 years, you must verify everything. And if you're watching this, verify what Little Rod's saying. Read the complaint yourself. Verify what the Dopest Nerd is saying. Follow her too. To actually see what she's saying. The truth is there, but you can no longer trust these trusted news sources. I'm not saying you can't trust them. I'm just saying, even for me, verify everything you see and hear, because there is an agenda, and power never, especially being Black, but anyone, right? If you are of anything, power does not willingly let go of power. These systems are in place not because people are weak or dumb or greedy. They are in place because they are built to keep people down in a systematic system of gaslighting. So I don't gotta tell y'all. I know y'all in the comments stay up on it, but verify everything you see and hear, no matter how crazy it seems or no matter how plausible it seems. Still do your own research, And I feel like the Diddy's, these high price, Diddy ain't paying an estimated $180,000 a week in legal fees for a team of lawyers just so they can twiddle their thumbs. Please believe they are going to work. So that's all I want to say with that. I'll let you have
and
the floor
especially
back.
now too, Rod. Here's what drove him so crazy about me and made him target me so much. What drove him so crazy is that at the time that my settlement came, because it took 12 years for my case to settle. At the time that my settlement came, and he dragged it out, he did everything to drag it out. But his insurance company, had he just settled like he should have in the beginning, he probably wouldn't have had to endure that, and his insurance company would have paid. But they were so sick of settling all of his craziness that the insurance company filed bankruptcy and went out of business, and he had to pay me out of his own pocket. And he was livid. You hear me? When I tell you he harassed me for every single one of them shekels, he was livid. I'm literally, prior to Cassie, I'm the only person to successfully sue him, and he had to pay me out of his pocket. I was the only person to successfully sue him and walk around to say it. Everybody else was bought off, shut down, blackmailed, backdoored. I was the only one. And I'm telling you, you think it was an easy walk? Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no, no, no. When I tell you he harassed me for every single one of them pennies, every single one. So if you feel like somebody is bought off, trust yourself. Also, what you said about the baby mama who is the tech guru, oh yeah, she hacking us. She hacking us, trust and believe. I get it regularly. I be wearing her out in my house. As much as I'm a woman of God on here, y'all don't want to hear my talk in the house. I be like, yeah, I don't want to get canceled before it, but trust me, I wears her. I be screaming because I every now and then I have to unplug my cameras because I'll hear them like click, 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 click. She is a cybersecurity tech guru, and they are watching everything we do. If you think your computer's hacked, it is. If you think your phone is hacked, it is. Mm-hmm. I suggest that you get another phone, probably in someone else's name, because it's hacked. And I still go through that. Still. I was trying to do something last night online, and they were doing everything to I get every weird message of, oh, this try again, error code, try again, error code. I just be like, whatever. Mm-hmm. I stand in my face, but trust me, I'll be wearing her out. I'm like, you listening? Yeah. I'll be wearing her out.
Listen, we do have to say this really quick. Mm-hmm. Everything is alleged. They are both telling you what they felt, what they believed they heard, and what their opinion was of situations that they've been in. Again, please do your own research. Nothing has been proved. Well,
yeah, everything I'm saying is alleged and my opinion. Nothing has been proven in the court.
My inalienable rights of free speech as protected by the United States Constitution, First Amendment. Bing.
Yeah, but listen, I also do.
And I am in no way, shape, form, and fashion sending any threats to Puff.
At all. And I want to actually just kind of end with this. Diddy has said that he is the victim of a witch hunt, and he has slammed cops, media, bloggers, right? For throwing dirt on his name. I'm paraphrasing, and he will continue to plead his innocence and fights for his innocence. The raids were witch hunts. The allegations of sex trafficking are witch hunts. As you guys remember, he maintained his steadfast innocence with Cassie. Unfortunately, there was a video that proved otherwise. But again, Diddy says that this is excessive show of force and hostility exhibited by authorities, and he does not appreciate the way his children or employees are or have been treated. It's important to note that he says he was never detained by the feds, but spoke to and cooperated with authorities despite media speculation. Neither Diddy nor any of his family members have been arrested, nor has their ability to travel been restricted in any way. We need to fact check that because a statement was made a few months ago. Also, again, he calls his legal things unprecedented ambushes, paired with an advanced coordinated media presence. It has led to premature rush to judgment of Diddy, and it's nothing more than a witch hunt based on meritless accusations made in these civil lawsuits. Again, we saw the boys roll up to his house, so I guess the feds didn't get the memo. I do want to say this as a final thing. Little Rod, thank you so much for joining us. I know I did the Tisa special and said it was going to be an hour, and 2 hours and 47 minutes later, you sitting there, and I know you need your lunch break. Baby Natania, thank you so much, the dopest nerd. Thank you so much for coming on. And also, right, Mama's not over. Please promote your channel. Also, really quick, Little Rod, we need to actually talk about what you have going on. You guys, you stayed for all the horror. Please, let's uplift Rod. Why don't you let us know? And Rod, we'll let you go since you came here first. We'll let you go first. Why don't you uplift us and tell us what you are dealing with, how people can support you, what your next projects are looking like, in any way that we can help uplift you.
Yeah, so I got a project I'll be dropping. This is my life story. You know, when I drop it, I'm just asking if you guys just go ahead and support it. Whenever I do drop it. Also, if you can follow me on social media, that way you can have updates of when. It's simple. It's just Lil Rod made it. Instagram, you know, all those other things. And the GoFundMe still exists. So whatever you guys can send and donate, that will go towards my monthly expenses, and, you know, still trying to, you know, promote this album and whatever else it is. You know what I'm saying? I haven't been working, so I've seen at least a 200% decrease in finances. And so it's going to take that to keep going. Also, it may not have to be that. Some of you may be an executive or you know, a producer or anything in the music business that might be able to say, hey, look, Rod, I got this set up for you. Or Rod, can I help you with this? Or Rod, how can I help you? Just those little things would definitely help at this present moment. I did get a call today, for example. I'm not going to say who I got it from, but right before I talked to you, someone who was used to be at a controlling a lot of the radio is now at one of the labels, and he just told me, you know, maybe we might have some room, maybe we can work. But the call was more important. He made the call, and he's at least trying. He may have some ropes he might have to jump through to get a yes, or might get told no. But the fact that he called and are trying means a lot to me than anything. He's the first and only person who actually have called and tried. So, are you guys there? The screen is frozen for me.
No. We're here. Hold on. Let's
Okay, it froze for me. That's why I asked.
No. The
But
screen's good, but keep going.
okay,
We're listening.
yeah. So, you know, just supporting there. Here and there. Just drop to my my social media. Just saying, hey, I'm here for you. You know, can help you. You'd be surprised. It could be 3, 4 in the morning. I'm sitting around here on my last string, and just to read somebody saying they support me and here for me will be that one thing to keep me over the next hump. So that's pretty much that. Any support.
Oh, hold on. He'll be back. I will say, while we're waiting for him to jump back into the live, he's in an undisclosed location and the Wi-Fi signal is trash, but we're happy to have him because y'all know I have a trash Wi-Fi connection when I be on vacay too. I do want to say that everything that he is talking about, I will have links to his GoFundMe. will have links to his Instagram. I will have links to every way that we can actually support. We want somebody to stand and speak truth to power. We want somebody to do that, right? So I think it's like super, super, super important. And now that we have the opportunity to actually support, now that we have the opportunity to actually show that we're about that, let's uplift each other. Hey, Rod, welcome back.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But just in any capacity, just showing support is a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not, in this with a neighbor. I mean, this is somebody who's for over decades has been allegedly causing a lot of problems to lots of peoples and their families. So at this rate, it's going to take that much more to help keep this going. And so, and hopefully this type of actions that's been happening, hopefully this is the end of that. Is my hopes. Yeah. So
It is the end. Listen, this is the beginning of the end. This is what speaking truth to power looks like. I am eternally grateful that you chose to come and speak on my YouTube platform. And of course, anything I can do to support, y'all already know I don't play about anyone when it comes to anything that is violation, whether it be physical or mental. I laugh, I joke, we drag people all day. It's funny. But not when people are actually being like hurt. And there are limits to everything. Again, if you're watching this on playback, I will have in the description box and in the next few Diddy videos, I'm gonna link the information too, and always give a shout out to how we support. At the end of the day, you are in this for the long haul. Natania was waiting 24 years for her justice to come through. And we're going to do everything we can to make sure that you get yours way, way quicker. Thank you so much for joining us. And also, you guys, for Natalia, she is, again, it's stormed, it's Wi-Fi thing. It's no problem. I'm going to put links to her YouTube channel in the description box as well. Please give her a follow. Once Diddy is arrested, not if, but I believe once he is arrested, we probably ain't gonna see you anymore, Little Rod. You ain't gonna be allowed to talk to anybody, but Natalia and I will be covering the case. She has unique insight. She is a woman of God, a giving heart. And I do need to point out that Natalia, she was there back in the day too. And one of the reasons she's so sure that Diddy was the one that did it was she knew Diddy, she knew the shooter, she knew Shine. She actually used to loan money to Shine. She was in it, but she was a woman of God, but she was in the industry. Beautiful voice. Again, used to run hair shops. She was known and respected in those circles, you know. So I think her insight is going to be very, very important as this case goes to trial and they start pulling up receipts from way back in the day. She is going to be a reliable, fair, godly, joyous look at what the evidence is and some real insight tea that's not just repeated off of Lipstick Alley and filled with hate, but one that like is coming from a good, non-malicious, very intelligent, funny way. So I know I love her. Go watch the interview. She dropped so much tea, but I'm going to put her link in the description box too. And Rob, why don't you, also, I forgot myself. Can you guys subscribe? Please, please, please. Oh, okay. So we're leaving. And Little Rod, I got to ask you one last question before we go, because this is going to become a thing on the channel. If you could please let me know. One, what's your IG? Okay. And also spell it out for everyone. And also, what is your favorite ice cream and or popsicle flavor? This is just something we do. We in the ice cream on this channel. And I'm going to make everybody, I'm going to keep pushing it till the thing. So why don't you let us know?
You know, I'm a little, you know, my grandfather, I hung with him a lot. So mine is like sherbet.
You went into the rainbow sherbet, pineapple, lime. Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And you know, anything on the popsicle side, I'm letting it happen.
You in there, huh?
Yeah. Anything.
You a Flintstone push-up man. Okay. I can see that.
Yeah. So my Instagram is Lil Rod Lil Rod Made It. LILROD MADEIT. Lil Rod Made It. You can find me on there and pretty much that's the rest of my social media handles. It's just Lil Rod Made It. I saw somebody ask for the GoFundMe. I think you can. I haven't seen that link in so long. I think you can go. You can just Google Lil Rod and then GoFundMe, or it might be on one of my pages. Something.
I promise you guys that when this live is over, within 10 minutes, the link will be in the description box. I got you guys.
Thank you.
For all the links. It's no problem. You don't gotta. And again, you guys, let's support the people that are actually putting in the work and sacrificing. You know, it's easy to play armchair quarterback, but Little Rod, you truly are doing God's work. I always talk about ridding the village of monsters and vampires, and you got your wooden stake and those silver bullets out, and you are going to work. And also, Natania, thank you so much for joining us. Again, once everything starts hitting the fan, we probably won't see you for a while, but we are going to follow your case with an eagle eye, iron-like dedication, and we are praying that you are victorious, okay? Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate you.
Thank you. Love you guys. Appreciate it.
Oh, thanks so much. All right. And also, you guys, just to let you know, the links will be in the description box. Hit the like button, subscribe, share this to your friends. For anyone that said you ain't staying up this long to watch it, I'm going to break this down into edible content for people that only have 5, 8, 10 minutes. Okay. That is my gift to you, for you guys actually even supporting, coming out, showing love, and like lifting up the people and listening to their stories with so much respect, humbleness, and gratitude. Okay. Thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate everything. And I will see y'all on the next video. All right. Oh, wait, did I get all the super chats? Hold on, y'all. Mixed chicks. Okay. Thank you. Rod said try cherry limeade sherbet. I did, but I actually think that that raspberry orange pineapple mix is elite. It is elite. Grandparents know what they're talking about. Thank you guys so much for joining, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye, everybody.